Yeah, so I'm a reporter in this book. That's me, looking very serious and mispronouncing Brian K. Vaughan.
Was that on purpose?
Yes, they're buddies, and he was like, "Hey,
That's
Brian,
cool.
I'm gonna kill you in my comic, and also I'm gonna spell your name wrong." And Brian's like, "That's hilarious." So.
That's awesome.
Hello, everybody. It's Saturday night. I know I'm still hungover from too much fucking eggnog. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but it's Saturday night. It means it's fucking time for Modern Comic Mayhem. My name is Kyle. You goddamn rogues gallery. Fucking introduce yourselves.
I'm Matt.
Oh my god, we're never gonna get fucking Adonis Corbin solo wiki.
I was waiting.
Come on, at some point, you guys.
Listen,
Adonis,
the order was
if
off.
you Adonis,
You
jump
have
in
Kyle
there.
at the very beginning, like Kyle in the middle. Does it go? There you go.
And I wish I could tell everybody out there that it's a shtick.
It is.
It's not.
It is.
See, why y'all gonna sell out like that? We could have had that.
Nah.
You right.
Nah.
Anyway, I'm solo looking. Nice to be here. Nice to see y'all again. I don't know who those two are over there because they don't know how to introduce themselves.
Listen, I said it's mine is written Corbin. Welcome. That's Super Spider-Man, Superman. Big fan.
Everyone knows Corbin.
Spider-Man. Superman. Big fan.
Shut up.
How is everybody tonight?
Good, good, man. Just recovering after crazy holiday.
Everybody's got a little bit of comic money to burn now, right?
I
Matt
wish.
bought a whole comic store. If you
I
look
did.
at him, Matt got a whole comic store behind him. So
I had to get
jealous.
some shelves put in real quick.
It was 40%
Yeah,
off
they
at
were.
my comic book store, everything. And I was digging through on Christmas Eve, trying to find some good stuff. I think everybody beat me to it.
I got some goodies from Marco Claus, so I'm not too.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
finally get my box from Marco Claus as well. So I was pretty stoked about that. I got that today.
I didn't get anything from Marco Claus.
Marco Claus
Yeah, I
delivered
did.
for me.
I didn't get anything either.
I didn't get anything from Marco.
Uh-oh, those
Why?
boys.
Look at that.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's sweet.
Man. Okay.
They went to the wrong address, but we had a neighbor in the Christmas spirit find and give them to me. So I'm really happy to be reunited with them. That I'll never open.
I thought
Yeah.
Marco Claus said that book is supposed to be hanging on your wall and replacing one of those posters.
Oh,
believe
he
you did.
did?
He said that Batman, he was so embarrassed that you have a Superman and a Spider-Man next to each other that Batman book was supposed to go on your wall to replace one of those posters.
Oh, there, that
But it
is
won't
good.
be as big. You're
A little
right.
bit to
Maybe
the
I
left.
And why do we only see Superman's dick? Like, is there some reason that you focus the camera
Hey,
like from the
you
dick
love-
down on
That's
Superman?
refer to his
No.
copy.
Is that
No.
like super?
Superman.
junk?
Oh,
Big
Yeah, don't touch the super dick.
What, the
It'll
super
shock
dick
you.
hit your funny bone?
shut up, man. Nah. It hurt.
He is funny, Bo. Oh,
There we go. There you go. See that? There you go. I got a. There we go. You see that up top? There we go. That's. There you
A
go.
big shout out to Marco Claus for Amazing Spider-Man 71
ooh.
and Amazing Spider-Man 54. Big shout out to Marco Claus.
Yes, definitely.
That's
Big
not
shout
gonna
out to
catch
Marco
on.
Claus. He got me this. This
He got
book
you a whole
181
lot of
Yeah,
period.
you didn't go shopping in the Marco Claus bag.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you didn't.
Marco Closet.
I didn't get anything.
Oh,
Marco
I
Claus,
like
but I
that
did pick
better.
up this cool
Marco Closet.
second print Thor.
Ooh, look at
number
that.
8.
Is that a calendar?
That is sexy.
Yeah, I like it second print.
Is that a calendar?
Yes,
Sorry.
it's got Fat Thor is in
that's-
December.
Oh, On my world, it's
Never Ending Comics says on my world it's called a cock.
listen. Sorry, yeah.
a super cock touching his funny bone.
No, they're like that. What the-
And for all of you that have joined us this evening, we would like to take this moment to slap our parental advisory sticker right over the big giant, screen of all of us. Thank you for joining us. Please like and subscribe for more super dick comments, possibly a fart joke.
You can send all complaints to brianmcclay@gmail.com.
Oh man.
Sheesh.
Yes.
Well, I hope everyone out
how
there had a
was your
good
guys'
holiday.
Christmas? Did everyone get what they wanted? Did everyone get the super presents? Like, go for it, Matt. We'll start with you and go around.
I mean, I got this beautiful comic shop behind me, so
That's a good present.
yeah,
Tell us about that. What you got going
Your
on there? All of a
girlfriend's
sudden,
really
you got
spoiling you.
I know, right?
yeah, you got the deluxe
Something else.
something going on there.
Hashtag Christmas miracle. You gotta love that, man. Beautiful
Right?
books. Beautiful books.
So
That won't even shoot your eye out.
nope, sure won't. But it'll pique my nerd curiosity enough, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah,
like
that's
so.
sweet. Is that
Go ahead and
that
put one right
magazine?
back on the shelf over here. All right, there we go. All right, let's get.
is that
let's
a
get-
full shelf rack or is that like a green screen? What you got going?
It is. It is a little bit of green screen. So figured
Little
going into 2021 we would spruce up the joint a little bit. So
There you go.
I dig it. I do dig it. I actually thought that you got a big giant rolling rack. I will not lie. You have deceived me. That's awesome as shit.
I have a rack.
Nice
What?
rack, Corbin.
I don't know.
Corbin's been drinking the eggnog still.
I
I
got
don't
it.
know.
The Corbin train got all the racks you need, ladies. Beep beep. All right.
Oh, Kyle,
Got a whole
how'd
rack
you
of
do?
ribs.
How'd you do Christmas?
Oh, not bad. Had a good time.
Yeah, did you
That was inspired.
I sported some pretty cool. I got some Mandalorian stuff.
Everybody in the baby
Nice.
Yodas.
Got some
Nice.
Mandalorian comics. They're way over there. I don't want to get them, but the wife and kids got me some Mandalorian stuff.
nice action
Yeah, that's
figure
pretty cool.
stuff?
I got some Mandalorian coffee cups.
Oh, cool.
Mandalorian
Do you drink
syrup.
coffee?
I love coffee.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
awesome.
Hot and black, just like I like it.
And
Corbin.
the
All day, baby. All
And
day. You
the-
can't go around like that. Mm-hmm.
the wife and kids did good.
I think everybody's happy.
Good.
That's all you want.
Kid got a bunch of
Nice.
computer parts. We had to tear his computer into pieces so we could put it all back together again.
There you go.
Put it in a case that it looked like that was already there.
That's it's like adult Legos.
All right, we're starting to bore everybody.
All right.
dude,
Next
you've been
Adonis.
boring me.
How'd you
minute
do?
you said let's go, so fucking A, let's get
Adonis,
it.
you get anything? Because I got something.
Adonis got us delivering us a fucking great show, so let's fucking get into it.
Damn right.
Hey,
All
what
right.
about what I got?
What do you got,
Yeah,
Corbin?
yeah. Hold
Wonder
on,
Woman
Adonis. Did you
1984.
do good, Adonis? How was your Christmas?
I was chilling by myself, so I felt a little bit sick on Wednesday, so I kind of just quarantined myself.
Yeah,
Well, sometimes alone time is the best gift.
you know, we're boring people when we get comments like this.
All right,
Corbin,
back to
Get back
How'd
to
you
the
do?
man wiener talk.
I was about to say I was doing a transition. I saw Wonder Woman 84. That was my Christmas
Hey,
gift.
hey, Corbin, what'd you get for Christmas? That's what you got for Christmas. All right, fucking move on.
Man,
Wonder Woman 84.
we all got the gift of Wonder Woman 84 for Christmas.
Thank you. That was a transition, Matt. Transition.
Yes, good. Good job.
And that is a Christmas present that I would like to give back.
Yes,
How-
can we
how
possibly
many-
re-gift Wonder Woman 84?
How many of us saw the 1984 Wonder Woman?
I I jumped around. I didn't see the whole movie, but I jumped around.
You didn't
I
miss
saw
it,
the
man.
good parts.
No, you
I
didn't.
thought
saw
it
the good
was an okay movie.
So,
Well, then you
So you
watched a
saw the
different movie.
Listen, no.
you watched the credits?
Hey, the end credits scene with what's her name? It's on the tip of my tongue.
Carter.
I said it earlier. Carter.
Carter.
What's her name?
Linda Carter.
There you go. That was a good.
He's only said it twice now.
I know.
Oh, hear that. Sorry, but no, I thought it was okay. I mean, listen, I'm a big fan of the CW, DC stuff. It reminded me of that with some of the CGI. Like the story was okay.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible. I liked it. Had a
pandering.
really good message. I thought it had a great message.
What
movie
movie are we talking about?
Wonder Woman 84, the one came out yesterday.
The message that I got from it was
We're talking about Green Lantern 2.
Oh, okay, cool. That's gonna fucking rock.
Okay.
1984
I got
Green Lantern.
what I got from Wonder Woman was fucking. If you have a penis and you're in that movie, you're evil. Especially if you're walking down the fucking street. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
You know,
it was a brutal movie.
Crimson Reaper said HBO Max is going to eat this one, and you know, I think going to HBO Max is the best thing to happen to this movie because
everybody watched it.
Yeah, well, and if it was in theaters, I think it'd be getting more thoroughly roasted than it already is because people are going to be more pissed that they're spending $15-$16 to go and plus that's not including popcorn to see this movie. And I think HBO Max is the best thing to happen to this movie because good God.
I don't think they watched it after they edited it. I really don't.
Like,
I think it was like, hey, new guy, you. What's your name? Fred? My name's Tim. Fred, come here. Hey, put this movie together real quick for us. But it's my second day. Perfect, Fred.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about what good parts, if any, Matt and Kyle specifically, did you guys take from this movie? Like on a real note, was there anything? Like, it wasn't worse than Suicide Squad. It wasn't worse than Batman.
I disagree. I disagree.
Whoa.
It was worse than Suicide Squad.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I haven't seen it yet.
I applaud you, sir. Keep it that way.
Nothing.
Suicide Squad was not good.
No, there was nothing redeeming about Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad, then
it wasn't. Actually, I want to hear how, because Suicide Squad is like the bar for horrible DC movies. I'm a DC fan.
Hey,
so I like the beginning of this movie when it's showing young Diana running through that, taking part in that tournament. But once it cuts to the bank robbery at the beginning of the movie, it's all downhill from there. It's just
bank robbery scene.
Yeah, and it was a pointless plot.
To show her it was to show her in action.
I was
She's Wonder Woman.
Dude, this is called one. This should just be called Diana the movie because she's only in costume maybe 30 minutes the entire movie.
I would for 11 minutes
or maybe 11 minutes. Yeah, it's
wow.
Just as long as we get the Snyder cut and it's better, then we'll be all right.
It will be. Amen.
I don't think he has anything to do.
The Snyder cut's gonna be the best.
He was an executive producer. Him and his wife were both executive producers on this movie.
Must be a family.
We'll get the Wonder Woman Snyder cut. Don't worry about it.
In the first one was so good that I was really, first off, I was like, Wonder Woman, good movie. It's set in the 80s. How awesome is that going to be? I was like, we're going to get to hear some great tunes. We're going to, you know what I mean? Like,
the 80s nostalgia that they did do was pretty dope. They did hit some key points, but they left out a lot of stuff like good music. That is a good point, Kyle.
I mean, you guys, old youngsters who were around during that time would know better about the 80s. I like the neon color effects. You know, the invisible jet reveal was kind of neat. I thought that was some neat things.
Shit. Now
Lopez is trolled.
I think we're being trolled right now.
Thank you, George. I agree with you.
Like she's not Sue Storm. Like, get the fuck out of here with that.
She had the invisible jet. Like, that's a defining feature.
I like how she's like, all right, look, they got the magic. We're gonna turn this jet invisible, and she Mr. Miyagi's it and warms her hands up real quick, and all of a sudden this force field shows up, and just overtakes the plane. And I like how this dude from World War II just automatically knows how to fly this massive jet. And he's like, all right, cool, let's go.
Dude, as soon as he figured out how to turn it on, he was set, man.
Yeah.
Dude, you fly one plane, you fly them all. It's just
right.
Seriously, all he did, that's all he needed was an iOS update. That's it. So that's what he did.
In 1984.
Exactly. It's the Macintosh. Before the Mac. It's the Macintosh.
Apple IIe. This is the iOS update for Apple IIe, where you jump into a side-by-side seated cockpit. Hint, they don't exist. And fly off from your 1930s fighter jet to 1940s, sorry.
Oh, man.
And then into a 1980s side-by-side seated.
Well,
I mean, the plot itself is terrible. You know, bad Donald Trump ripoff, businessman who's down on his luck and trying to take over the world decides to request or make a wish to become a crystal and absorb its powers, and then he can grant your wish, but
I think
take something
there's a
away
meth
from
head
you.
that's behind the Circle K that did the same thing.
Take it, give you powers and taketh them away, and at the end you defeat him by renouncing your wish and losing what you wished for. And somewhere along the line, she becomes Spider-Man, and she's flying around by her lasso between clouds and using it as a propeller to jettison herself through the sky, where she becomes Superman and gives you the one fist out, one fist back flight. And
if they'd have stuck with something and actually wrote it out, and like I could have bought the whole flying bit, because in like the Justice League series she could fly, the cartoon series. So I mean, if they were going to go that route, just do it from the beginning, stay with that, it's all good. But now you don't need an invisible jet. You know what I mean? Okay. If you have both, because you have to fly your World War II boyfriend that all of a sudden knows how to fly this giant jet across whatever, then you should have just made it the invisible jet. That would have been cooler than some Miyagi-san force fucking. It was the cheetah outfit that they did.
I like the
badass.
evolution.
Yes, it was.
The way they developed her as a character, I thought, was actually decent, because if you read the comics, I mean, the iterations of Cheetah were more or less something of that sort, minus the whole wish element. Like, it was wanting that respect, power, whatever the case may be. Boom. I was reading some of the early Cheetah appearances before the movie, before watching it, to kind of remember a little bit about her, and like, barring one or two extreme cases, like, they kind of nailed the Cheetah down. I'm gonna give them points for that.
You could never nail the Cheetah down.
Cheetah. Yeah, Cheetah was badass. Sorry,
and like, it was comic accurate in a movie that took some liberties. Obviously,
we talked about this a few weeks ago on the spec of her first appearance, and I think it's pretty clear that her spec is dead with this movie.
Wow,
that Cheetah spec is pretty much Alfonso. I think so.
Why?
Yeah. I don't see them going for. You see them going further with that character? She's not Cheetah at the end of the movie anymore.
But she could possibly be. I think they left that ending ambiguous. And
they did. They 100% did.
Okay, and she would be, even if this movie is a straight up dud, right? She is still one of the more redeeming qualities of the movie.
Yes,
in terms
I agree,
of a character
100%.
you can build on, move on with. If you continue this Justice League, once the Snyder Cut gets huge, I think we're gonna have to have the Legion of Doom, and then you can throw her in there. Okay, but the point, exactly. I think they can use her character again. I really do. I think that might be the best selling point in that movie. I just wish we saw more of her.
I would agree. 100%. I agree.
The one thing I thought about. Oh, go ahead, Chad.
I was just gonna say, I honestly, out of the whole movie, that was the part that was the most dope out of the whole thing, was her Cheetah outfit. Like, I thought they really did a good job, and as cheesy as the movie was, I thought they were gonna totally flail and drop the ball on that. So I was super happy, impressed with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
If any other dude would have got that crystal to make a wish, it wouldn't have been to be the crystal. It would have been like, hey, I want a big cock.
I mean,
Like,
or
I
a
want 4
girlfriend.
more inches of Ferrari and a crap ton of money.
But then what would you have to lose? You know, my hot take is that I don't think Maxwell Lord should have been to begin with.
I didn't even know that was the
I just don't think they
Mandalorian.
did him right. Like I like Maxwell Lord as a villain. I just don't think he was portrayed correctly in this
I
film.
just-
No, I think they shit the bed with him.
Yeah,
I think you could have developed him differently, and not had to shoehorn both of them. That's all, or not exactly shoehorn, but you know what I mean. That was my thinking. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I would give it a C. It was a decent movie.
I
Wasn't
did
the worst.
think overall, the arc of what they were trying to portray in telling everybody out there that maybe it's time to be a little kinder, be a little nicer, say hi to your passerby, take a step back and maybe put the phone down and love your kid, you know, spend more time with, you know, the ones you love and pay a little more attention. I thought it was a good message. I thought it was a fairly, I think it came across fairly clear or fairly well, but I just, it kind of, I'm really, really tired of not having a strong female character. It seems like every time we get a chance at a strong female character, in the end of it, they shit the bed and they turn him into this wimpy girl. And I'm just so sick of fucking seeing it.
I see where you're coming from.
This is Wonder Woman. She should have been in there just busting ass through this whole movie, just taking people out left and right. And they made her into a wuss. I'm so fucking sick of it. Game of Thrones.
The villain,
in the end, they make her a crazy chick. Fucking
he got this power, and you didn't need to fight him to get rid of it. You just gonna go, I don't want my wish no more. And he's fucking done, dude.
Yeah, I think that was what did it for me too. Is just how weak that plot line was. Is you?
All you had
She
to
can
say
just,
was, I denounce it. Like, oh man, there's got to be more. There's got to be more of a catch to it. Like
I think her losing her powers was an interesting aspect of the movie, but then when it's like, you know, all she had to do to stop that was I denounce my wish. You know, you can have Steve back. I'm gonna go out there and save the day now. I was like, okay, come on, what's this? But
she got a good dickin', and now it's ready to
like Kyle said, it would have been more believable if he wished for 4 more inches, a Ferrari, and a shit ton of money, because we all know that no man would ever be like, no, I denounce my wish. Oh. Shit wouldn't happen.
I ain't getting rid of this.
I did like that all the men were asking for Ferraris, and then the news report talked about how there's just been Ferraris racing up and down the street in these third world countries and stuff. Like,
oh man,
that's cool. I mean, I guess at least we have WandaVision in a couple weeks to look forward to.
Yeah, Disney, if they want to keep up and they want to keep kudos and chops, they better be putting something out real damn quick. Because I got to tell you, I've watched more HBO Max in the last 2 months than I've seen of Disney in the last year and a half.
Wow.
All
right, so you're telling me you haven't been watching The Mandalorian?
That's what I was getting from it.
You're just phoning in your Mando reviews.
No, that's literally like
Marco's telling him what to say.
Just giving him the spark notes and letting him go. That's
yeah,
what
right.
Marco's doing.
I read the cliff notes.
Yeah.
All right,
what we got next?
Okay, again. All right.
I read all the spoilers online on YouTube, and then I just go on and not really. I mean, I watched probably I'm watching like 15 different shows on HBO Max. I'm watching like literally 2 things. I've watched Disney Plus in the last 48 hours, and other than Mando, I'm not really watching anything. And now Mando's
the only thing I
over.
watched on Disney was Mando.
Wasn't there supposed to be a Mando Christmas episode? I thought they were saying there was supposed to be a Christmas
making
episode.
of.
Oh,
They just
that's what it
released
is.
like the behind the scenes making of Mando. And I watched it, but I mean, okay, so I watched Mando, I watched the making of Mando. I broke down and I watched by accident almost Soul, and that was really good. That was really good.
I'm waiting until I'm with my daughter again to sit down and watch that one. So that's why.
Soul?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think you'll enjoy it. It's got a good meaning. It's a little more adult than it is kid. There's
Yeah.
some fun kid stuff in it.
Yeah.
When did you have a daughter, Corbin?
Oh, you guys missed that. That was my
No.
wish.
Oh,
I just had to give away my virginity. That's what I lost.
All right, guys, it was a good
Wait,
show.
wait,
Thanks
wait.
a lot.
Hey, thank you guys so much for joining us.
You know, it's all good, guys. Let's go to the next thing. I just renounced my wish. We're good. Let's go.
No wonder why Marco's always on the show with us.
right.
All right, let's go. We need someone to transition. That's all.
I just think that there's a lot more on HBO Max to offer right now. They have a lot more overlaying titles of things to watch than
Like
I
Friends.
mean, everyone kind of jumped on Disney Plus, watched Mando, and now everyone's like, well, what the fuck? Now what do you got?
Well, I know me personally, I've been watching
Cinderella.
no, I have not. I've been on Netflix and I've been watching a Korean monster show called Sweet Home. That series on Netflix, and I thought it was pretty bomb. So there's that.
Nice.
Here it is.
Hmm.
But once again, that even proves my point more that Disney is going to have to start pumping out content, and they need to start having some overlaying new content that is attracting people, or they're going to start losing, until all the new Marvel and Star Wars stuff starts coming out, which is what, damn near half of 6 months away.
Yeah,
other than
That's 3 months.
Vision and
It's after 6 months.
and I think that what they're doing, it's on purpose. They want people to have patience, and they know that the content that's going to be put out is going to be it's going to be a heavy hitter. So
They want patience, then Disney doesn't know their audience. We're in the time of we want everything now. What they should, as soon as Mandalorian ended, by the next Friday there should be another show playing. There should be another series on.
And I don't think that. I mean, I understand that's how everybody acts now because of what Netflix did to us with the whole the idea and the mindset that we need to binge every show that we ever want to watch. We need to watch it all at the same time immediately and everything like that. But dude, like, what about before when we had to wait an entire week to watch the next episode of Dragon Ball Z? We had to sit up there, wait, and sit down and shut your damn mouth and wait until next week. And I
don't mind waiting a week. It's just now that Mandalorian's done, what is everybody watching on Disney? Nothing.
I mean, I know that the last time Corbin and I were chilling, we were watching Winter Soldier. We were watching things like that. So we're watching the stuff that's already on there, but we have other stuff that we can do until the next one comes
out. The pressure to put stuff out is probably
there is no having pressure. And if everybody's like, oh man, they need to put stuff out or else we're gonna stop our subscription. Y'all can stop your subscription all you damn well want. They got money out the ass. And they know damn well that once that show comes out, you're going to start that subscription right back. So they're not worried about nothing.
I do see where Chad is coming from, though. I will say that in terms of having something out, because we had one Wonder movie in the entire year, and that's it. So that makes sense to me. And let's say at best this movie was a C+. Is that really a good year? Is that really yay, we did great? No, it's not. So I see where Chad's come from. I guess my thing is that not dumping it all out, because then we're just gobbling one content to the next, and it's and some of it they're feeding into because they're rolling out these shows 2-3 years out that we're already going to start projecting and specking before we even see what this looks like or where it may go. But, I don't know. Those are my thoughts. All right,
I think you're all forgetting that the greatness that is Cobra Kai season 3 starting on the 1st of the year. So you got stuff that'll tide you over to WandaVision.
Who watches that?
So,
but again, that proves my point. Okay, you're gonna wait 2 months. You're gonna wait until everyone gets tied into Cobra Kai on another channel, and you're gonna lose that audience. That's dumb. That's just bad marketing on Disney's part. And yeah, they have a crap ton of money, but a big part of their chunk of change is not coming in. They had to shut down their parks. They lost billions of dollars. They're losing millions of dollars every day because of the limited number of people going to the parks now. So they better
they're
figure
losing
out
money on Disney Plus. They said that Disney Plus won't even be profitable until 2024. So they're taking losses on that too.
Yeah, with the way they're running it, I can see why.
But I think that they took that into consideration, and they basically what they're doing is going. They're most likely using the the deficiency fund, like the one where like, all right, this is the fund that we're gonna put a stash away when shit hits the fan. So when shit hits the fan, we can always use this to keep going and keep things running as normal as possible. And as we know, 2020. It's a big ass piece of shit in that fan. So they know what they're doing, and I like that there's a time gap, because then that makes the drop even more. I don't like it when they just spoon feed you stuff all the time. Like, I don't like when entertainment spoon feeds you over and over. Like, I don't have time to go and think about, let things sink in, come up with more theories, think about, oh my gosh, I can't wait for this, and start to wonder, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? No, I don't have. When you skin spoon fed all the time, you don't have time to think and come up with your own thought stream. Now it says, oh, we're gonna tell you what to think. We're gonna tell you what to see.
It's so much easier.
All right, they live. Oh man.
So let's talk real quick back on Wonder Woman real quick for a second on 84. There was an interesting part with all the comic book creators that got thanked in the credits.
Wow.
So there was a bunch. There was a bunch at the end.
Yep, like Alex Ross, Mark Waid.
Well, damn straight should have been. They or she had that costume at the end. The whole battle
George
armor.
Perez.
Makes sense. What he did with Wonder Woman, the cheetah in the 80s.
Yeah, I think what they did is they thanked everybody that contributed to making the movie and what they did.
Yeah,
like inspiration or creative.
Like if you bring it, like Bleeding Article did a cool article on it. If you bring it up, Matt.
Bleeding article.
I said Bleeding Cool did a cool article on it.
Bleeding article. Yeah, I can pull it up. Hold on a second.
Bleeding article did a cool.
There you go.
Bleeding article did a cool.
That shows everybody. So maybe this is why it was so fucking. Wonder Woman was so all over the place, because they took so many ideas from so many different people.
Yeah, that's a lot though. That is a lot.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Damn.
Like George Perez is credited for relaunching the character and incorporating her God storyline.
Yeah, that's like 9 people just off that screen alone. Yeah.
Then you got Mark Waid for writing in Kingdom Come featuring the armor.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, it was nice though. The one plus I would say out of Wonder Woman 84 is I didn't have to go to a goddamn movie theater to see it. I could actually just sit at home and watch it. I actually watched it on my phone.
I hated that.
What?
Oh, the comfort of your home. Maybe if I'm an old man with a wife and kids, that's fine. But if I'm young and I want to live, I want to go to the damn theater.
But it's nice. I could pause it. I could go make something to eat. I got a drink.
Take a nap, drink some juice. I get it.
Get your Ovaltine, make a hot muslix.
Yeah, it was nice. You can go poo and then you can come back.
No,
like you didn't watch the movie. You could pause. Like I could rewind it and go. Did she really just catch a bullet like that? Hold on. Let me rewind that.
Oh my god, I hated it. I can't wait till I hated it. I wish the movie was good enough that I would go back and watch it in theaters. I won't, but like
you need to get a better TV then.
No, it's not about the experience. We talked about this in the show before, so I'm not going to bring it back up.
Dude,
but
make some goddamn microwave popcorn. Turn the
hell no,
TV
that's not
up.
better. That's not better.
Turn the lights off. Have
No,
somebody sit in front of you with a cell phone on, and you're like, you're in the theater.
Nah,
Hey, Steve, can you turn that off?
it's something about the environment. It's just different. It's in the same place to watch. It makes bad movies even worse being at home because you didn't have experience. You stay in your dusty old house.
You
Nothing
turn it,
different about
like
that.
I'm saying, you turn it. Yeah, have your friends go over and talk during the whole thing.
That's
If you're trying to watch it, it's like being at the theater.
No, that's like being at home. Being in the theater, you got this different vibe. If I'm not crossing my legs 'cause I gotta pee, but the movie's so good that I can't move, then I'm not in a movie theater. Get up and just
No,
let
it's
it
great.
fart.
That's the awesome part. You could pause it. You could walk into the fucking bathroom, pee, come back,
It's
and
something
start it
about-
again.
Yeah, can we get a moment of silence for that guy? The dude
Yeah.
slept with Wonder Woman and doesn't even know he slept with Wonder Woman.
I
One of the
know,
biggest
that guy really
problems
got the
with
short end
story.
of the shaft, dude. He really did.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And it was kind of weird though that they did that. Like it was like for like 1 second it was some other dude, and then it was I don't know. And then it was then you saw fucking Chris Pine the whole time.
Yeah, you're seeing what he really looks like, and then you're seeing, they want you to see Chris Pine the entire time.
So that's the one thing I wanted to. I was like, man, you know what? If he had a smaller dick than him, like she had to like just be like she had to think of the past anyway, like she was flicking the beans. So
Oh man.
Anyways, on that note,
Transition.
yes, transition to some.
But can you
some
imagine
comic
that?
talk.
Though? Like she's seen him, but does that mean the penis size stays the
Comic
same?
talk. Let's do it.
Oh man.
Never really says, "Oh yeah, back to the wiener talk."
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Yes.
Hey, there's no show complete without wiener talk.
Yeah, Kyle, you had an interesting topic you wanted to touch on as far as comics go.
Guy was kidnapped for days.
Kyle.
Yeah, there was something that I had noticed the other day.
Lord.
I know that most everybody here buys comics, and they, and we go to the comic stores, we dig and stuff. But I would say, not always can we read a comic when we want to. There's sites out there where we could go to read comics. I don't know if they're pirated. I don't know what is. I'm not going to get it. I don't care about that part. But the part that I was noticing was when you find a title to read, it shows you how many times that this title has been viewed.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've noticed with some of the bigger titles is take Venom, for example. You could bring that up, Matt. I think it was viewed something like 3 million times.
3,445,977 times.
Now, my thought about that is this is what is contributing to the death of comics? Is like, okay, so we go on and, everything that I happen to have to read online because I'm not in a situation where I can actually hold a book. Like, it's always titles that I already bought. So I don't know if it's the same or not, but so you got to think, what's Venom on? 32, 31?
I think around there, yes.
So if you take that, you divide that by 3.4 million, and it's at what, $4 a pop? That's a lot of missed money that I'm seeing. That I'm thinking that is DC, Marvel. You know what I mean? The writers, inkers, no one's making. Do you contribute that to the death of comics?
Well, I think it's sales wise, absolutely, because that's millions of dollars that the creators are missing out on.
Because I mean, like if you like Venom first, you said it was 3.4 million. If you go over to something like Batman,
3 million of those views are from Donny Cates alone.
hyping his own book.
Yep.
But that's a lot. I mean, like, so what's I don't know. They just made me think, what is going to happen to comics now?
Well, if people don't buy books, then it's gonna obviously go down, right? I mean, you need to support the industry. It's pretty simple. Like, buy the books and read it that way. I get the ease of access to it, but if you're gonna do that, it's like watching movies, pirated movies.
What was the print run to issue 1?
Let me find that out real quick.
I mean, it could have been more than 110,000 right here it's 3 million views. Like there's
Yeah, but you got to think about like, okay, so a majority, like not even a majority, but I would say a chunk. Like let's just go with a quarter of those views are from people that bought that issue probably as a collectible, so they didn't want to damage it, so they looked at it through there. They read the comic through there. Then at the same time, look at actual like novels and things of that nature. People read that on Kindle. People, they still download.
Yeah, but when you get it on Kindle and stuff like that, you're buying it. It's
If
being
you-
accounted for. It's
Yeah, if you get it via Kindle, but there's people that are still just downloading this book and not paying anything for it.
and like JJ brought up a good point. I don't know if it's page views or downloads or what. Like I know the site that I go to, you don't have to download it. You can just click into it and you can just read it page by page. And I don't know if it's per view of a book or if it's just that if you typed in the title. I have no idea, but
I think it's gonna probably be per view of the book, because I want to keep track of how many people are reading the book, not just not just looking or searching the title.
Yeah, it's not TikTok.
Yeah. I'm assuming it's going to be like I said, per view of the book. It's an ongoing series, so yeah, like you're saying, some of those are going to be repeated viewers because they're coming back for the next issue and the next issue and the next issue. But that's a lot of money being left on the table.
Yeah,
and a lot of sub boxes and that's a lot of money being left on the table, not only for the writers and the artists, Marvel themselves, but for the store owners, for shop owners also.
Yeah.
It just makes me think, hey, you cheap bastards, go to your comic book store and buy the goddamn comic.
Simple.
But I mean, like,
But this isn't even like digital downloads, because you still have to pay for those per issue. This is people like obtaining the comics online through websites that you don't have to pay anything. It's basically like torrenting your comic book without actually torrenting.
Well, but like you, Kyle, like you go and buy a physical copy, but then you read it digitally as well, right?
Well, yeah, because I'm not always in it, like when I'm in break at work or I've got some downtime or something, and I don't carry my comic books around with me.
So there's a majority there's got to be a huge chunk of people that are in that same predicament. They're like, oh, I have this, but I haven't read it yet, and I can't. I want to make sure that this is in good condition, so I'm gonna just read it while I'm at work on my break or something like that. And that I'm sure that has to be a big chunk of the people that are doing this as well.
Invite to Raid says, I would bet that issue is factored into the covered price we pay now. And then JJ says, I think pricey or what you have is a problem in any entertainment industry. It's not necessarily an indication that the industry is dead or dying.
Yeah.
Well,
I agree with
everybody's talking about comic books everybody's talking like right now, comic books are hot for flipping and buying and a lot of people, but on the same note, people are saying it's harder to get new readers. And comic books are something that is starting to like die off.
Like whether or not it's actually connected to piracy, you're saying that there is a decline either way, and that
No, I'm not saying piracy. I'm not just like
I'm trying to get where you're coming from. I'm not speaking for you.
No, I'm just saying like you can go to a website and read it, and it's just been viewed 3.4 million times. Just that's a lot of money. Because that means people aren't getting paid.
But so
I know it happens in any industry. I get it. I know. It's movies, it's books, it's anything that's.
I wish we could have reached out to him, because Greg Schoen has an interesting opinion on this. The creator of Ray Gun and Rascals we had on a few weeks ago, is he said that when his book Ray Gun was up for sale for the digital copies, he only sold a few here and there, but when you go on like download sites, he can see it's been torrented 2-3 times that amount that was actually sold. So he said that those are all missed sales. That's all missed out money in my pocket. That's food off my table and food off my clothing off my kids' backs, because this is my occupation. This is where my money comes from, and
but I'm saying that the hobby is hot, but we're grown. we're grown people buying comic books. We're reading them, buying them, selling them. But the next generation behind us, there isn't as many.
Yeah,
I think it's because they're priced out of price range for kids now. There ain't no kid that's gonna spend $10 on a book like we do as grown ass men.
Yeah,
you know, like Adonis has a daughter. Are you gonna give your kid $10 to go buy a book and just finger fuck the pages?
nah, absolutely not.
But that's what it is. It's just a comic book. Like, you know, like when I give comic books to kids, you know, and their parents are like, "Oh, you need to take care of that." I'm like, "It's a comic book. Read the fucking shit out of it."
But it's not looked at like that anymore. It's looked at as an investment opportunity. You don't know when this book is going to hit, so it's looked at as like,
that's why it's dying is because it's only people that are getting it for that. That's why a generation out of kids and people aren't going to be doing this.
But that's why I was saying what I was saying before about referring to it as they might be like you and I reading it at work while their physical version is at the house because they know that this is an investment. Like I know I passed that on to my brother who's 10 years younger than me. He buys comics and he reads it online. And he's good when it comes to like whether or not he can invest in that or anything like that. He just doesn't want to mess it up. And I think that's something that we're teaching because I mean we can sit up there and say what we want all of the time about like, hey, when you're getting comics, you go and get the physical version because it's memorabilia, it's a collectible. You wanna have this physical version to interact with, and everything like that. You can say that, but then they're watching us who buy the physical version and then go read it online. You know what I mean?
But, you know, that's why I tell every kid that I give a comic book to, every kid that I, you know, when I pull up in my white van. No, I'm just joking. No, but when my wife's work, the owner, her kids were into Teen Titans, so I was giving them Teen Titans Go books.
Okay.
Because they loved the cartoon.
Yeah.
And they liked Star Wars, and I was giving them some Star Wars books. Now I want them back because the shit's hot. But, you know, and they're like, make sure you take care of that. And, you know, like I said before, this is what I was telling them. I was like, please don't sit there and take care of it. Read it. Reread it. Enjoy it. It's just a comic book. Don't, as a 8-year-old kid, don't put this in your head that it has to be this investment thing. And this is why if you hold it as something that they can't touch, how are they really going to enjoy it?
Well, I mean, like, again, that's why I was tapping into that mindset of lead by example. Because, yes, you want them to interact with it, but look behind you. You know? Are your kids going to just sit up there and grasp that off the wall? No, you're going to, hey, whoa, don't touch that. Go get
I
your own.
told my kids the same thing. Every comic book that they bought, that they owned, that I bought for them, I didn't care how they treated it. As long as they read it and they loved it and they enjoyed it, then what they did with it is what they did with it because it's their book.
Right, it's their book. It's not Dad's book.
It's not my book. What I do with my books is different than what I want them to do with their books.
Yeah.
You know, you'd have a heart attack if you came in and saw your son on the toilet reading your Spider-Man 300. You know, and you're gonna explode because of the. It's not because it's just a book.
Part of me is I'm never gonna walk in on why he's taking a shit reading the comic.
You never know. The door might be closed over, not completely closed, and you just walk in, and you know, Bob's your uncle.
All right.
And that's why, yeah, you see people buying duplicates and triplicates of books for that reason. But like Donny Cates, two of the biggest books I think of 2020, like Venom was a huge book this year. A lot of things happened, but Thor, one of the biggest, hottest books of 2020, you know, came out earlier this year, and it's already been viewed 1,197,039 times.
10 issues.
And yeah, it's at 10 issues. So yeah, that is a lot of money Batman, the rebirth Batman, 12,537,000.
all the way up until the last issue that came out. That's 1 to 105. 15 million, 12 million views.
Flash at over 6 million.
My whole point was just how long can this go on before it really starts to hurt our hobby?
Well, you're seeing it more. I think you're going to see it more now. In time when the longer this situation we're facing right now goes on, the less comic book shops are going to be around. The more people are going to go searching. The more people are not going to have money. They're going to go searching for an alternative to read their books.
Exactly.
So I only see this number going up higher and higher and making the pain on the local LCS that much greater.
Because I look at it like what I did, what I used to do when it came to like watching anime back in the day. When I would sit up there, I couldn't afford to rent those movies, but one of my friends could. So we would go with him and rent that from the comic shop, and we would go to the dollar store and buy a bunch of those dollar VHS tapes and record it and then give it out to our friends. And that's how we would go up there and do it. I mean, and then of course, then we had LimeWire and friggin' FrostWire and Pirate Bay and all that stuff. We're downloading entire albums and stuff like that. The music industry is still booming. The movie industry is still definitely,
but they've changed.
The
industry has changed.
Exactly, and I think
but the other thing is people different with the music industry is most people don't mind having digital copies of music.
Yes.
Here, us as collectors we're not going to be able to flip or sell that digital copy.
And I think that's where things are going to change. I think what's happening is that like we're discussing, the mindset is people are gravitating more towards the digital copy. So in fact, the physical copy is going to be and I'm being more positive, optimistic, but I think the physical copies of these things are going to be worth more because of the fact of how the media, how the demographic has changed to how they're going to interact with the material. Like the music industry. Nobody really buys CDs anymore. And if you do buy a CD, you're like, holy crap, whoa, I got to take care of this. Like on a different level, you're on a different mindset.
CDs take up too much space. I have a room full of comic book boxes.
Look at Walking Dead, viewed over 25 million times.
And you know damn well that's because of the damn show. You know that.
All right.
That's, I don't know.
And like Aaron brought up a really good point. Yes, they can't, it would be like the 90s if they just printed millions of copies.
Yeah, they would flood the market, and then that would devalue the actual material.
Yeah, but what my point was, it's but if you're storing them online, overprinting is not going to do anything.
Yeah,
because there's still so many comic books sitting on shelves that people are still coming on here and reading, reading books online. I don't know. It's just something that I thought of.
Yeah, and I mean it's right. This isn't a kid's hobby anymore. This is a hobby for middle-aged men now.
And that's what I said earlier. It's grown people that are doing this. It's not
because, to be honest, the flipping market, like we're on a channel where there's 15 other shows about flipping comics or the hot comic of the week to flip and speculation and all that. And that's driving, all that does is drive the younger generation further and further out of this hobby because they can't, it drives the value of that book up and they can't afford to get into this hobby.
Yeah. Unless they do their research and they can buy it and have it in their pull box.
If they keep up on modern stuff, yes. If they go modern, yes. But
with half these damn books, man.
I mean, ASM 300, a high grade copy is almost priced out of most people's price range.
Yeah.
Forget about 129. You know, Walking Dead 100, that's going to be a cult classic forever. That could be, you know, some might argue it could be right up there with ASM, or, you know, with Amazing Fantasy 15 in that realm. Like,
Walking
it could
Dead
be the
100?
Yeah, I don't know, number one.
Oh.
Walking Dead number 1 could be, you know, in that realm. It's going to be the Amazing Fantasy 15 of a lot of these kids' time.
Yeah.
And that book is still, what, over a grand? So it's the hobby is becoming, it's pricing a lot of people out of it, is what it's doing.
Yeah, then you get back into it.
I mean, at what point does this hobby start segregating itself, where, you know, we're pushing people out of it because the books are so astronomically priced, you can't get your hands on it as a collector.
Well, I mean, like it only have to be a certain type of people. That's like just like this. There's only a certain type of people that buy Ferraris and Lamborghinis. You know, not everybody can go buy one, but they make a lot of money because their stuff is worth it. And with these comics, yeah, people can go and I can go rent a damn Ferrari for a day and feel good about myself, but I can't buy one. But I would still rent it. So I think that is the market is definitely changing, but I don't think it's going to die. It's definitely changing. I don't think it's going to die.
I don't think it's going to die either, because it's a resilient hobby.
Yeah,
but it's gonna.
Yeah, but the next generation of people, if there isn't as many people doing it, it is something that's going to die.
Yeah.
By 3 generations of people, times have changed. Yes, you could say it's something that's not going to. It could something that cannot be.
I don't know. I still don't. I think it's gonna like any form of literature. I believe is going to outlast a lot of things. So it's a different medium in the sense that we experience it slightly from actual literature, but it's still in that realm. So
like manga, I think is something that's hotter now to the next generation of kids than comic books.
I
think more of the next generation of kids is into that than they are into comic books.
And a majority, myself included, a majority of those people that like manga read it online. I know me, I didn't read manga until I started college, and I read all of it online. I still don't own any manga, and I've been around manga for a long time. I just never picked them up. I would just bump right into the anime itself. And I think the thing about now is that it's the same amount of people that like the manga. It's just that now more people are okay with saying that I like the manga.
Like comic book?
Manga. The manga itself, because I remember when I was in high school, you know, if you was reading comic books and all that stuff, then you was a nerd and a geek. And the meaning of that doesn't mean the same thing. Yeah, it doesn't mean the same thing though now. So
I like the manga.
I like the manga.
No, because now everybody reads. It's cool to read comic books and be into manga and all that right now. But
if you're married,
they gonna read it. They don't. That doesn't mean they gonna buy it.
If you're married, it's cool.
I like.
Yes, and he's right that one of the coolest aspects of the hobby is laddering up to bigger and bigger books. You can start small, flip high grade, and for bigger books. That is one of the cool things about this hobby, but it's how long until that even becomes outpriced?
That's getting harder to do as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes and no. I mean, if you're going for first print, sure, it's definitely getting harder. Even second and thirds are getting so high up there you can't get them. I mean, if you look at like a TMNT #1, now you're looking at that fourth and fifth print TMNT #1, and they're still obtainable.
Yeah.
Well, I was just gonna say, is that why we're seeing third and fourth prints of these books go higher and for more and more money.
Yeah.
Well, I think the third and fourth prints, as most people here know, that the print runs are smaller.
Yeah.
That's why the less of a print run, the more demand it is, the higher the premium.
I mean, like, what? One of the things we were talking about, I think we were talking about it last week, was like the whole difference between newsstand and direct to the shop.
Direct to market.
Direct to market. Like, what do you think that? Because hold on. JJ was saying that a lot of bookstores sell manga. So what if they go back to that route again, where it's newsstand, where they're selling actual stuff via there? Because if those kids are if those people are buying the manga at Barnes and Noble, so they're going up in the Barnes and Noble and spending that there, that's probably where they can go and buy a lot of things. You know, buy the manga. Oh, this cover of this Spider-Man or Venom issue looks dope. I'm gonna get this, and now they're in that realm. Oh, Batwoman is here, Batgirl. Like, oh man, I'm gonna cop that too. You know, I think it's just because these shops are kind of our safe zones. You know, our dwelling. So they're like, well, they probably don't have manga in there, so I don't have to be in there. I know where I get my manga from. It's at Barnes & Noble, so I'm going to go over here.
Well, right. And do you think that is, though, that manga's more easily accessible? Because they sell manga at Walmart. You can buy manga there. You can buy manga. They have it in, like, school libraries. You can get it.
Yeah.
Like, it's places that comics aren't. Like single issue comic books like this aren't readily available.
Yep. So that's what I'm saying. Like, the way to bridge this gap may be to make it to reestablish newsprint. Sorry,
I agree.
Go back to the weeder talk.
I was just like, there's just a lot of money left on the table by people going online and reading it. That's all I wanted to bring up. I just thought it was interesting. Didn't mean to depress all you guys the day after Christmas. How about Superman's dick?
Well, no, it is a good conversation for it's something to think about for the people who might stumble across this that think, hey, I want to be a comic book creator. I want to be a comic book writer. It's something you have to have. I want to be an artist. It's something you have to have in the forefront of your mind.
So go to manga.
You go to manga. There you go.
Hey, shoot, I sit up there. Like, that's how it started for me, going to the friggin' bookstore with my mom while she's getting books for becoming a lawyer and stuff like that. And I just wander off and, oh, yeah, Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. Mom, can I have this? And
no. Put it back.
Yeah.
There you go. I know that. Very true.
That chore money, you're like, I'm gonna buy that damn book.
$1.99 on a comic book? You're just gonna rip it up and leave it on your floor. I ain't paying for that.
Buy that damn shit.
Yeah.
Hey, what?
It's because Corbin keeps buying all his manga at the Hot Topic, so he's killing the LCS, man. No love.
I think Chad just showed his age. You're getting your stuff at that Hot Topic.
that topic hot.
At the hot
topic hot.
You go to centers with like collectibles and oddities and T-shirts and manga, and then later.
Hey, you go, DJ Maxwell. They get open into bookstores and finding a way to make things like trade paperbacks more collectible. Why are there never ratio variants or whatever for trades? It's a fantastic question.
Yeah.
No answer on that one. But
why do we as a in this hobby look at trade paperbacks so poorly? Like, it's like, oh, it's not the first issue, so that doesn't matter. That's not collectible because it's the trade paperback.
I think it's because of it kind of tapping into what we were talking about before about the whole Disney Plus not having something after this season of Mando. It's the trades are an entire season, and the issue in one episode.
I mean, they're worth money.
They are worth money, but not as much as that.
They're just not sought after. Like,
But are they only worth money when the single issues are so priced highly that you're priced out of buying them?
No.
So you're like, well, I'll just get the trade then. Like Clone Wars, the first appearance of Ahsoka. That hardcover trade paperback is going for good money because most people are priced out of that single issue.
Sure. But I mean, there's a lot of other ones that are. I must have 3 or 4 copies of Doomsday Clock in hardcover and softcover.
I got a lot of issues of Turok.
Yeah. If you don't have any of those, I mean, you're out on the boat anyway. You're missing out. There's some Star Wars trade paperbacks that are highly sought after and very collectible. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the first 10, 12 of those in trade paperback, dude, those are huge money. People look for those left and right.
All of my Invincible collection is our trades.
So is mine.
Yeah, like my Invincible and The Walking Dead. I got all of those in trade. So,
yep, trade is the place to be.
TMNT has quite a few highly sought after, full trade paperbacks and omnibuses. People are really starting to pay attention to omnibuses as well. I mean, those things are some of those Spawn omnibuses. Shit, you're talking $200, $300, $500, $600.
Yeah.
Yep.
It just depends on the work itself, and if this issue is getting 3.4 million views, then more often than not, that trade is going to be worth something.
Yeah. But all right, well, to switch gears and to liven everything up a bit, since this talk of the hobby,
Back to super penises.
yeah, being let's liven things up a bit and let's switch gears and go to Corbin. He's going to talk to us about some DC and give us your thoughts on event books.
I mean, I guess it's gonna be a DC lens. I hadn't thought about it like that, but comic book events. I was not ready. I was bringing comic book events because we have experienced some rough ones. Not sure if y'all read Batman Joker War. If y'all did, it was terrible. But it's not the first. You may not. It's been so long a year that we may have forgotten that Year of the Villain went through May of this year. So like we've had some real rough events. And I think, I'm not a spec person at all. I'm just a guy who likes to read good stories. I haven't read a lot of good stories from the big two, but mainly from DC this year. And so I thought it'd be nice to go back and look at comic book events, since it seems like more so than ever in this industry, everything is from one event. It's for building a story. Even the stories that are between events are to build to the next event, which we know, 6, 7, we're increasing amount of time in advance. So I thought let's talk about events.
You know what I think happens with some of these events, with a lot of these events, before you actually get started, Corbin?
Of course.
This is my opinion on a lot of these events, is even Joker War, it started out really good.
Okay.
You don't think it started out pretty good? Like it was, you're like, all right, I can see where this is going. This isn't too bad.
You know what? I'll give you yeah.
And I think what happens with a lot of these stories is they start building up and they take, and this is just how I see it in my head, is I think they sit in a meeting and they're like, all right, build it up. But what happens is you build up, it's getting good, and they're like, okay, we need to wrap it up. And I think what a lot of these stories is they go, okay, and it's a real hurry to wrap up. So I think they spend a lot of time building it up. Like I think like we could say like Dan Slott is really good at that. He's really good at building something up, and a lot of writers seem like they're really bad. Okay, how the fuck am I going to finish this? I don't know. Let's just hurry up and get through it. I had this great idea, but now it just kind of, and I think that's what happened. And I think that's what happened with Joker War.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, I'm gonna push back only because I think wrapping up quick is definitely a sign of like an event that is less than ideal or not well done. But again, I guess is going into the event. It's like when you wrap it up, there has to be some sort of resolution that has some lasting events. These comic book events, what are they? They're essentially larger scale stories that should have some type of ramification. That's for a character in particular, whether that's for a franchise, whether it be, the DC universe, the Marvel universe, whatever the case may be, there's supposed to be something that extends from that event that can carry on its own thread in storytelling. So these events are catalysts for change in effect because they're moving something different. The reason why Joker War, in my opinion, was bad, partly to what you said, Kyle, in terms of it being rushed, but being rushed with nothing finished. Like, what was the ramifications of that? Aside from bringing in new characters for a definitive battle between Batman and the Joker, nobody lost anything. Everything was reverted back to normal.
Bruce lost his money.
Yeah, Bruce lost everything.
And got most of it back by the end.
He didn't get any of it back.
He didn't get any of it back.
He got access to it through Catwoman.
No, it's gone. His money is gone. He's moving forward.
Lucius still has it, and he wants to keep it now. That's why he's like, you gotta fix your own goddamn Batmobile, motherfucker. You just can't make a new one.
The Joker is still the Joker unscathed. Batman's unscathed. Dick Grayson's back. I mean, okay, so Bruce is a slightly less richer man. He's not destitute. He's still fighting crime. I mean, without all the Ghost Center, all that stuff out of there. In essence, out of that story, is that the one ramification we get from the biggest, quote unquote, battle between Batman and the Joker? Is Batman has no money now? Like that alone should show
he kind of hit him where it hurt.
Right, and here's the thing about Joker War.
That family wasn't touched. You know what I mean? Like, I get what you guys are saying, but like, if you're saying you have your marquee character and the arch nemesis through 4, 5, 6 decades, and the most you're getting is a minor financial hit. I'm saying minor because Lucius still has it. That's something that can be resolved. In terms of a member of the Bat family, there's friction, but it's not like he is outlaw on the run. Or we've seen better in short issues of that. You know what I mean? Of a resolution. And so that, I mean, I'll let you guys push back for sure. That is my argument on this was an event. This was something that you look back and you go, wow, like this changed something for Batman moving forward. Right now, it gave an essence of something that can be worked out literally in an issue. You know what I mean?
I gotta agree with Corbin. I mean, as far as like, if you're gonna push like a big book event and you're gonna title it a big book event,
exactly,
and all it was Batman went broke. I mean, come the fuck on, really?
I think it's already gone from the previous event.
I think here's the problem with the event books is we look at them as an instant we want the instant gratification. We want that instant payoff. We want there to be that instant resolution by the end of it. Joker War is something seeing that your payoff is going to come 3, 4, 5 years from now.
But that's
depending on where the story goes, because you're going to find you're looking at a new Batman. You're seeing Batman in a light where that was his biggest superpower is his money. It's gone. He doesn't have that anymore. So now he has to adjust.
His biggest superpower was money, man. It wasn't his drive, his resolve. Literally, they showed Batman lose his mind and still be Batman. Scott Snyder did that. It's not his money. That's a very I mean, that's an opinion. I get you on where you're coming from, Matt, but I strongly disagree. In fact, I think there's been that his money does not make Batman Batman. Literally, what makes him Batman is the money makes it easier. But he would have been Batman dressed in purple and yellow. We read the books. Yeah, read the books.
I think literally his money made him Batman.
Like, you know what you call a detective?
Made him Batman. The money gave him the resource to be who he was.
No. The money literally made him be like, "Hey, yo, make me this suit. Hey, yo, I need this car fixed up. I want
learn how to operate there. Are you really serious?
No. I want that. I want that Gucci belt.
Serious right
now. No. I want the Gucci.
Look. Marco even says Batman's superpower is being rich.
Marco doesn't even read Batman. What's Marco talking about?
That's a man right there that knows his facts.
Are you serious?
Wow. Batman's title is not
real Batman fans from the others.
Batman's title is world's greatest detective, not world's greatest rich man.
What do you call a detective that's not rich?
Hey, even Sherlock
Holmes.
That generational wealth.
Encyclopedia Brown wasn't rich. He was solving mysteries.
Look.
It's like the Hardy Boys.
Hey, I'm not rich, and I play Where's Waldo all the time, man. I find that fucking guy every day. Like I am. Exactly. I could be the next Batman. You don't know. I could be Bat Loki up in here. Like I find Waldo all the time.
Over here, I need to be rich to be a detective. Are y'all kidding me?
I need to be rich to be a detective. No, you don't got to be rich to be a detective. You need to be rich.
You know what? Let me just continue with the script. All right. Comic book events. I'm trying to break them down. You have 3 types of events, at least from what I know. You get the
Even if
company
we didn't
event.
have the money, Bruce Wayne would still be out there busting thugs, wearing garbage bags and milk carton shoes.
Thank
Put some respect on his
Never
name.
enough
Put some
comics
respect on his name.
Yeah. He's not even joking. I'm not sure we be laughing. He right. Thank you. Out there calling himself Kazoo or whatever.
Well,
He's still
not only
out there
that, but
busting
okay,
butts.
so we're going to talk about the richest man on the planet, Bruce
Yeah,
Wayne, and you're telling me that dude didn't stash money places just in case?
I
don't buy
Maybe we
it.
can start selling stuff on eBay. Is that gigantic penny in the Bat Cave appreciating in value? Or is it still
Now
at 1
people are
cent?
picking up. This is where exactly.
He made
Exactly.
up.
Thank you for talking, comments. I get it.
There you go.
It was bad. But here we go.
Marco again coming in with that hot fire right here. Best detective can't even figure out who Joker is.
I'm sorry. He knows. Are y'all serious, Marco?
Corbin,
No,
Corbin.
okay. Also, if we're gonna even bring up another Batman event, according to Three Jokers, he always knew who the Joker was.
Hey,
So I mean, that's another one I think sucked, but that's neither here nor there.
hey, Corbin, do you have water handy?
What? I'm gonna
'Cause
keep talking.
You may
Anyways.
you got to dilute
No.
that salt that you feel right now. You don't have to turn that down.
No, I'm
Right
good.
now.
I'm good.
Water.
I'm constantly reminded how many folks here really want to talk Batman.
Corbin,
it
I
just
just
ticks
need
me
you to
off.
take a deep breath for me, bro. I'm afraid you're gonna pass out. Just
Oh,
No,
man.
I'm good.
deep breath. And
I'm
then you
good. I'm
continue
good.
on.
I'm just.
You need a bubble bath. You need a bubble bath, Corbin.
I like the Flash. What's your superpower again? Batman. I'm a flipper on eBay.
All right, you know what? We're gonna just skip to the chase. Let's
Go ahead. It's all you, Corbin. This is-
I gotta agree with you, Corbin. I think you're right, man. I think that that he is the world's greatest
Shout out to the
detective.
Mighty Mel V in the chat, ladies and gentlemen.
And as I mean, if you're gonna call it a huge event or a giant event, or this is a cataclysmic event, and then your big event is that he loses his money, like, come on, man. Give me something better than that.
You're changing the status quo of Batman.
No, but you barely are. I mean, honestly, if you're an event, at the end of it, I think as a reader, I'm not flipping. I'm just getting these books. I'm trying to enjoy them. I should have a payoff for these long building arcs. I should be able to go, as you said, Matt, with this new status quo for storytelling that can go in different ways. This is more or less the same thing we're getting from City of Bane. I mean, yeah, his financial is more of a hit, but he's still fighting for his city. The Joker, nothing happened. The supporting cast is still the same. There's no lasting ramification from that's going to spill, as you said, 2, 3, 4 years down the line. Guess what, Matt? If something spills from this 2, 3, 4 years down the line, let's call it a different event. It's not spinning from this event. It's just called a different event.
It's setting up. It's
No.
called laying the groundwork, bro.
Yeah, hey,
You can't build a house if you don't set the foundation, Corbin.
No, that's what an event is supposed to end. The event in and of itself. Let me just go into the events here. I have notes for a reason. Okay. The event in and of itself is supposed to build, set up, and conclude. It's not supposed to be, we're tipping off. That's called a prelude. Like, that's not an event. An event is just that. So let me go into 3 types of events real quick. So you have the company events, right? That's basically every time DC tries to rehaul the universe. New 52, Rebirth, Crisis, whatever. That's one. You could turn the slides. I'm all fired up now, or go to the next one, Matt.
All right, I'll go to the next one for
Just
you.
keep going down. It doesn't really matter. These are events. We jumped the gun and started pissing me off about Batman. I'm all fired up. Right. Go down to Crisis. Crisis was go down to Crisis.
No fuck with my
Crisis
Batman.
was the company event. You don't do that to me. All right. Crisis was the company event. That's one where they're trying to make sense of the universe. They're trying to rehaul, move in a direction. This affects everyone. All right. You can go to the next one. The Spider-Man Maximum Carnage. That would be an example of a franchise event, or what I call a character event. It specifically falls on that one franchise in that universe. It's not affecting all the others. Although Maximum Carnage should have some. It's going directly onto one. So a better example would have been Batman Joker War. I mean, that barely touched the Batman universe, much less going into Superman or anything of that sort. The third one, it's kind of a mix of the two. It's a company event on a specific character. So it's a mix of both. It's one that focuses on one character but has wider ramifications for the entire universe, franchise, etc. So Flashpoint event was for Flash, World War Hulk on the Marvel side, since I had to throw in Marvel at some point next to Spider-Man. I'm sorry, Kyle?
Wasn't Flashpoint the whole reason of the New 52?
Yeah.
Yes, but I'm saying it was a Flash-centered event that. What are you talking about?
Caused a huge ripple effect through the whole universe.
Well,
It was
isn't
amazing.
that the whole
Based
reason?
off of one
Wasn't the
character.
whole reason of Rebirth to undo what Flashpoint did?
Yeah.
Again. Yeah, I want to talk about events. There's a question and answer segment later. I'm just breaking down what these are. All right. All right. So we got that
Later.
done. Already ticked me off with Batman. I'm already fired up. I'm sorry. You can't turn this down. All right. All right. Let's go down because now is where we have
Just
the
remember, when
obvious-
you start chucking batarangs, Corbin, I'm on your side on this. I got your back. I think you're 100% right so far. You chuck them batarangs the other way, buddy.
Thank you. No.
But
You
since
good,
Batman's
Solo.
broke, he
Solo's
just
on
needs
my
to go
squad.
pick them back up later.
Solo on my squad.
I need to reuse these.
So when I
Can I
think
get those back?
when I think of good events, I'm thinking of things like they're all mixed together here, but Crisis on Infinite Earths, House of M, War of the Realms was a decent one recently. I like Civil War, not the tie-ins, but just the main storyline. Even Valiant Comics had Armor Wars. If you guys haven't checked that out, that's one of the rare indie ones I've read. Armor Hunter is number one. It was Robert Venditti and Doug Braithwaite, if I pronounce that right. But anyway, that's like an indie. I mean, it's obviously not the big two, but it's another event that actually was pretty decently well done. Bad events. Name anything from Batman this year as an event. It's been bad. Going back, Ultimatum, that was horrible. That undid 15 great years of the Marvel Ultimate Comics. That was just trash. Civil War 2 was like, let's take everything great about Civil War and just crap on it. Death of Superman obviously was impactful. I'm not saying it was bad in that way. It had long-lasting ramifications that they just totally shit the bed on afterwards with the conclusion.
Well, Civil War 2, the point of that wasn't at the beginning of them trying to get rid of mutants?
I couldn't tell you because it was such trash. No, it was sort of like that. It was weird. It really was. Like, even reading it, it was undoing.
I thought that was the beginning of them trying, because remember they had that whole thing with Sony before them and Sony kind of make.
Now he just has this guy. No, you get off. You can't trash Batman like you did. And
Ho ho ho!
I'm so glad our savior is here to save this show.
No.
I heard my name 3 times. I'm like Beetlejuice. I come in.
Mutant Massacre is another great one. Thank you for that. No, Marco, you come up here and disrespect Batman with knowing I'm on it, and just really
Beetle Marco.
Exactly. Now you gotta go. Thanks, Solo. Will have my back. I cannot believe you think money is what made Batman rich?
Yeah. No, that's just what made Batman rich. Yes.
Money is what made
His
Batman
parents'
rich.
money.
Not
even his. Yeah, that's why I give those books away, dude. I give those books away because nobody wants Batman books. No way.
That's trash, bro. Anyway, Mutant Massacre. The OG Keymaster was saying some stuff. Joker War letdown. Hype for it. I don't call it an event, but 3 Jokers was a letdown. After issue 1, outside of the artwork by Fabok, that book was what was it? Like, these are my issues. I guess this is where we talk about what events y'all like. What
I think
you guys
Corbin needs to become a good Marvel reader.
I mean, House of M was good. You didn't like House of M?
It was good.
I gave that as an example of events that I did like.
Oh, okay.
said
Wait, hold up. So you don't like Joker War, but you're down with City of Bane?
Dude, you put these pictures out of order. I said, I'll repeat. Good
You
events.
sent them to me.
I wrote next to them what they are. I said good events. They're in the class notes too. Christ on Infinite Earths, House of M, War of the Realm, Civil War, and Valiant Comics Armor Wars are examples of good events. Bad events would be City of Bane, Ultimatum, Civil War 2, Death of Superman, and Onslaught. Those were examples of events that Death of Superman I should probably take off the list. I'm just looking at it from a reader's point of view. For the ramifications it had in the comic book industry, on creating, having Doomsday on other characters, it should probably just be in the middle. It wasn't great. Like, no one looks at that as like the key comic writing of the 90s, but it wasn't horrible either. So I should probably walk that one back. But those are what I'm saying are the differences. And you could tell based on what I said before about the ramifications that can move storytelling in different directions. And you could tell which ones were dead ends. Ultimatum, City of Bane. The worst thing did from City of Bane is take a quick breath and then go straight into Joker War, which did nothing. Like, that's what I mean.
Finally, the voice of reason is here. Oh my God, bring order back to this show, Brian.
Hey, just so you know, Corbin, I still got your 6, buddy. I don't care who they bring in.
I
I still
appreciate
got
you,
your 6.
Solo. Thank you, man.
He's not wrong.
Finally got Marco and Brian here. We can put this show back on track.
It's been something. We need it. Oh God. But anyway, City of Bane was a story arc, not an event. I know. I thought it was an event. It had crossovers.
When Corbin says that Batman's superpower isn't his money, someone hit the Flipside panic button and all the big guns started showing up.
Y'all are crazy. That's not what. No.
Again, I repeat, it's world's greatest detective, not world's greatest rich man.
Like I said in the comments, if he's so smart, who cares his parents and who's the Joker? That's all. You can't figure out who Joker is. That's rough, man. That's straight up rough.
I thought he knew who it was the whole time. He just didn't want to say because he was keeping it a secret.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
He's the yin to his yang. He can't reveal it or kill him because he's the yin to his yang.
You know what's interesting about what you're saying, though, taking away from Batman, just whatever, is that, when you were talking, I was thinking about these like independents, even like East of West, which had a huge run, or like the Saga. I mean, Saga as itself is an event, right?
Yeah.
Like when you think about that, and then you pull over some of these writers, and you're like, man, like Civil War, the first one, even with the tie-ins. I know you like the tie-ins, but that was brilliant, and I always loved War of Kings and all the stuff that was out in the space where they'd bring in some of your main titles and do backup stories going back and forth for Marvel. I thought that was always pretty good. The problem is they put them on like a 8 to 12 week schedule or month schedule. So when you guys were saying like, hey, it seems like they're shortening it up. No, that's already planned out. It's just like they're telling somebody who is used to writing in independent comics, like 4 years for their arc. It's not really an arc, but 4 years for their event. And they're like, hey, we need an event done in 8 months. So how are you going to do that? And a lot of artists aren't prepared when they get to the big 2 to finish up events in 8 months. It just, especially with all the other stuff that's going on, it gets too crazy. And unfortunately, every time they hit a home run with something like the House of M or Civil War or, I wouldn't know a DC home run, but.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, there was one. I can name one. Moon Knight. That one was really. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, the Dark Avengers. Yeah,
Dark Side War.
Dark Side War.
Dark Side War was
They've
amazing.
had a couple.
Yeah.
So was Infinite Crisis or Identity? Yeah, Infinite Crisis.
Well, Watchmen.
That wasn't an event though.
I get Watchmen and Dark Knight as events. They're not, but I get
Blackest Night.
But yeah.
But I don't. Do you think Blackest Night was that good?
Maybe not Hush.
I mean,
I like Blackest Night.
I liked
Identity Crisis.
I know people like it, but what I'm saying is like when you think about when you think Marvel, when you think it on the Marvel side, you're like, okay, cool. Civil War saved Marvel, brought back an event, and then started off the event off, which kind of sucked, but still. But before that, you had Secret Wars, which was great. I mean, if you go on the X-Men side, I know you didn't like what's its name?
Avengers versus X-Men.
Oh no, that's all that new stuff's kind of rough. But I'm saying like when Magneto was Onslaught. Yeah, but people like people like the Onslaught thing. I mean, I know that's not great, but
I guess for me, I looked at it from a different perspective. From because I'm looking at the line art first and foremost. And when I saw Onslaught, I was just like, "Yo, this is," because that was Joe Mad, right? Yeah, so it
looked dope, but it was trash.
Anything he touched, I was like, "Yo, this is fire! It's major fire." So when it came to a lot of those events, I'm drawn by the line art and story. I'm just like, all right, cool, yeah, this is cool. This makes a lot of sense. But damn, the cross hatching. Oh my god, this junk is so pretty. Oh my gosh, I want to look at it some more.
Well, then I guess Three Jokers was a bomb ass book because Fabok did an amazing job. But
see, that's why I like the storylines better. But that's why I mean, like when you talk about Age of Apocalypse, I always thought Age of Apocalypse too because it was just a different feel and everything for it. I mean, I thought those were great ones, and then I mean, it is what it is. But those little ones, the problem with it is that those are good. But if you look at the gapping at how far those are apart, those are what, like every 8 to 10 years you get one good event. Well, they put out. Well, I mean, there was a point at Marvel. I mean, to knock them down a peg, where they were doing 3 or 4 events in 1 year. They're doing 8-month events in 1 year and doing like 4 of them. What was it? They had that part where they were doing Siege that was backing up to. Oh man, that was a mess. It was like the Dark Avengers Siege. Everybody had an event going on. What the heck was the other one? What was the one where they had all the guys that were super powered up? That whatever piece of garbage that. I mean, look, Marvel made a mistake too, huh?
The Illuminati.
No, it was the one where they had all like they all got
Identity
powers.
disc?
They all got the Phoenix powers or whatever. Fear itself.
Oh yeah, Phoenix
Avengers
5.
versus X-Men.
Oh yeah, maybe. But they also
Avengers
had Fear
versus X-Men,
itself,
yeah.
where they had gotten some weird powers too in
Oh,
Fear
yeah.
itself.
Hammers.
Yeah.
Daughter.
Well, they had a few years ago they had Access, where all the villains became good guys, and the good guys villains, and that backed up into the Civil War II, and then.
Which wasn't that the case with Dark Avenger? The Dark Avenger arc was when all the bad guys were good. I mean, that was like the whole part of the mid break for Civil War. So it's like they've recycled stuff too. Don't get it wrong. I mean,
I thought Fear itself was really cool. I thought it was fun. I don't know. Maybe I'm just an amateur.
No. You can like it. I just, you know what? That was just like that time they had Siege. Siege was still, I think, finishing up at that time. There was like so many things going on during that time. Siege was just finishing up. They were starting A versus X, weren't they, at the time too? And you had Fear itself. There's so many events going on at that time that was like, how can you watch all this stuff, dude, or read it all? It was just so like just a bunch of mess together.
Because I think I'm pretty sure AVX came out right before the Fear itself.
Was it? Yeah, but that thing went on forever too. I mean, that really did.
Yeah, that did.
I super enjoyed AVX.
Yeah.
I really liked that run. I thought it was great, and they had great variants, and they had great, story. And I thought the end was a little bit of a letdown, but I really enjoyed the whole run overall.
That's my problem. That's my problem with big events is that very few times do they stick the landing. Very few times.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I wonder where all you guys were in those years, because the feedback that if you'd gone to a Diamond Summit at that point, or you'd gone to any else, the feedback that you were getting in stores and at Diamond Summits were, what the bleep is this? It's an event on top of an event. I'm sick of all these events. It's 8,000 books. It's crap. We can't do it. You have.
That's exactly what everybody is thinking, including
I know.
us. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, so people, you didn't hear anybody say like this were actually good stuff. Maybe when they read them later or something to that effect. But I remember A vs. X was the first time I dropped an event for Marvel. I had gone in, I think I grabbed the ones, and then I was into the 2, 3. I was the third weekend, and I was just like, I'm done. Like, I can't even do this anymore, man. And I just stopped. I cut, because what is that too when X Factor started downturning too, because they took what's his name off of it. So I've got that run done, and the Thunderbolts were getting changed around. So I was like, yeah. But yeah, I mean, what was it? What did you say? Yeah.
Basically, it used to mean something, but they don't anymore. It's just, yeah, I'm with it.
I don't know if that's true. I think you had in the 90s and the 80s too. There's always bad events throughout it that they were keeping piling on. They just get really excited.
You had some good ones back then too. Like, what are the like you have some, but like how many would you say? Like 5 off the top of my head that were like decent in the past like 10 years. Mind you, says the decline in actual event. Like the amount of events has been either staying the same, in my opinion, even growing. But the amount of quality events that like you can go back and go, okay, that was good. I mean,
well, that's what
the ratio is kind of off.
You guys just made 2. You guys said A versus X, which is probably in like it's about the last 10 years. It's a little bit like right around that time period. Yeah. And you guys just said Fear itself, which is right around that time period too. So you got 2 right there that you're saying were pretty decent events, right? Like I'm just saying, like
2 in 15 years, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, well then you got 06, so in 20 years you got Civil War. I liked War of Kings because that was the stuff that was going on upstairs. So you really in the last 20 years out of Marvel alone, you got 8 good events. Now they had 20 events.
To DC.
They had 20 events. Oh, I haven't got there yet. They had 20 events. And yeah, 8 out of 20 is not the best, but they they hit one every once in a while. That Hope stuff was good too, man. Like you guys forget about like before they ruined her when they did Generation Hope and everything like that and just dropped the label altogether. That the Massacre stuff was good. Marvel had it because they were doing many things too, but then they got too cocky, and then
I think what it is that with the big 2, like like they were saying, it was just about it's just flooding the market to see okay which one sticks, and then these people are gravitating towards this event. Let's do this. Whereas in the independent film realm, there are events that like made some major moves, major storyline creation and ramifications and upsets and things like that. It's just that because they're on that smaller scale, they're not
More freedom.
exactly. And that's why like when it comes to the big two, I usually only come back when there is an event. For the majority of the time, I'm in the independent realm because they come up with that heat on a regular basis, like not day in, day out, they drop a fire.
Yeah, but okay, so what do you, because like that's not what I read in my independence. Like I read, everything Vaughn, I'll read East versus West. I would read some of the Kate stuff for a while there. Like I'll read what's his name that did Chew now doing the other one. Like that's what I'm reading in independent. So there's no events to those. They're just they go to the writer stops writing. You know what I mean? Hey man, I actually didn't get to take a bath today. I'm kind of disappointed with that.
Sorry.
You got those bath bombs to use.
I do. Hey, I did. I got custom made bath bombs. They're sweet. They're nice. I love them. I show the guys. Y'all can make fun. I know everybody's jealous because y'all don't have a bath that you use just for soaking. I get it. I understand. I didn't always have a bath for soaking too. I was a one bath household at one point too. Not anymore. Now I got 3. I get it. I get it.
In this house, everybody gets a bath. You get a bath. You get a bath.
Everybody gets a bath. No, but I mean, that's kind of it. Like the independents, like I know they've had small ones or whatever, but even like, crossover right now that's showing out there. Yeah. I guess you could call that an event, but realistically, what's it going to go? You're going to go, if it goes 8 to 12, I like it. But like, if it doesn't.
And my thing is like with the events is when, in Invincible.
Wow. Really?
Maybe I should become a detective.
I'm about to get out of here. I hate this place.
In Invincible, when he had to fight the rest of the people from the Origin Planet, in Walking Dead, the Negan saga, like those events like that, those were some major things. It's just that, like you were saying before, there's not enough longevity for it to be considered an event in the realm of the big two.
Yeah, but doesn't that kind of the problem with doing those small arc events too in the independents, doesn't it always end up like burning out the book? Like The Walking Dead's a perfect example of that. Same thing with Incredibles. Same thing with I'm sorry, that's two Kirkmans. I shouldn't just because Kirkman does a good job at doing the arc event. Like I get it, but like eventually it becomes the same ad hat type thing, right? I mean, I think you see it across the board, either if you're in, and I know that the big two's on a schedule, right? Because they have this formula. They've seen it work for a couple things, so they want it, and they want it to work a certain way. And Marvel, by the way, Fort Corbin, like Marvel is the worst at it because they've had the most success at it. So they will destroy you after it because they will do the terrible 18 tie-ins, which, by the way, Age of Apocalypse, I think I'm working my 3rd run of the original Age of Apocalypse now in mint condition. Like I still love it and I read it every time I collect it. So and it takes up a long box, long box and a half because there's so many books. But with that being said, it's not done right. They redid that Age of Apocalypse too. They tried to hit it again and it's garbage. That was garbage. But then you hear successes like Death of Wolverine. Like people love that it's like a mini event. And I think if they keep doing mini events, look, I heard you guys talk about what the comic book paper and what's ruining that too. The truth of the matter is it's not even pirating. There's no ads. Okay, the only time that comic books ever had any positive revenue, it wasn't sales. That's not what drives the revenue. It's ads. Ads what drives the revenues. Advertising. Yeah. Ads make tons of money. That's how it works.
My whole point on that whole discussion, though, was it wasn't necessarily pirating. It was just how much money is being left on the table.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Well, I think, you know what?
But it's the same. You're right. They were right. Are awesome. Which I shout out to you guys in the chat for having a great time with us. You guys are awesome. I love you guys for coming in and busting our balls, and and I love it. And it's just like, I guess it's just like any media. Actually, God damn it, I was too busy fucking being nice to our audience. I forgot what my point was. Never mind.
No, but I mean that's it. They have to go back. Like even with the stuff like the sites you were saying you're using. I think if somebody was smart enough to pitch it. And like, you can't pitch it like this, but if they're real, you know what? We're going to sell ad space on it. And guess what? The people who are bootlegging it still have to show your ads.
There is a shitload of ads. There's all these naked chicks.
Yeah. There's all the bootleg ads. What I'm saying is, like, in the book, that site that you were showing, I'm not saying that's a bootleg site. I'm just saying in that site, it's a scan. They scan the book. That's what they do. Guess what? You just calculated how to sell it. Doesn't matter about our distribution, because that was the biggest thing with Comicron and everything too. Like, our distribution versus our print run, right? Like, that's the reason why they count distribution, is because they want actual delivery portions of it minus returns from newsstands. And that's a whole different conversation on how the advertising world works. But with this, they could pitch to advertisers. By the way, look, this site right here, 3.2 million views or whatever Venom thing I did. I was 360 people on COD, man. I just jumped on because I wanted to save my man before he has a heart attack about Batman being a detective.
Listen, I was about to lose it. I appreciate you for that. Yeah, these guys were
but that's what I'm saying. Like,
life.
That would be kind of cool. Like, that might be a way that they could get in stream revenue. But do remember this, like, they're not going broke anytime soon, right? Like, it doesn't matter if people are showing up to the parks or nothing. Their stock, if you don't own their stock, it's doing really well right now, man. Let me tell you, they ain't going no place. They are going no place. And that's all that matters. Yes. Do you have a question, sir?
No, my point was, it wasn't necessarily.
I was touching my arm. My fault.
DC or Marvel, but
You in the front.
it's more of a trickle down to the artists and the writers.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, I like what you guys said. I tried turning off the Wonder Woman stuff because we've watched it in halves too. And anybody who thinks you should go back to theaters, that's just because they can't get dates and they think they'll get dates.
Hey!
Wait, what?
Oh,
What?
damn.
What?
I'm not an old person. I want to get people. You can't replace it. You go on for me, man. I like that, Marco.
I'm not. I didn't even listen to you guys say because I'm not through it yet. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just saying, like,
you know exactly what you're talking about. You're coming for me.
I don't want to go outside and watch movies because I need
on that.
parents.
I'm not getting the experience watching it at home. I'm just not. I gotta get my popcorn, not that cheap dollar store stuff. Maybe if I had a wife and kids and a family, you know, no. Gonzo, that didn't happen, Gonzo. You're making up stuff, Gonzo. I ain't get owned.
Hey, can I give you a little bit of advice?
Owned,
You said you don't want the dollar popcorn stuff. Just like Gonzo hit me up with the Bath and Bodies. That's not where I get my bombs, my bat, dude. I get the custom made stuff. There's some great custom made popcorn too. You can just get on top of that. It's not even that expensive. It's like
me and Batman right
like
now.
$10.
Aside from being great detectives, me and Batman got one thing in common right now, Marco.
No, I got no money.
We poor. Okay.
I'll send you some, I guess. I can send you more Christmas cheer.
All right.
We got about 3 days left in the holiday. All right.
Dude, you can go to the.
I too also don't know.
Hey guys,
I also don't know the greatest the nemesis, my identity of my greatest nemesis. I don't know that.
Do some custom, locally groomed popcorn so he can have a great experience.
Yeah,
I'll
dude.
put some fish grease in mine. That's custom.
They got some bacon. There's some that they do with this great bacon grease and stuff like that, and a little bit of chocolate.
Word?
Oh yeah, Santa Claus, and my wife's stocking got this custom made stuff. It's with bacon grease, and then they do it, and it's got the caramel.
Why is Gonzo coming for me right now? Sorry, Marco.
That's right.
Gonzo, I'm listen. All I'm saying is that theaters are an important part of the industry. People like myself desperately need them. Right?
I pray to God my girlfriend is not watching this show right now. It's fucking bacon popcorn, and she's gonna be.
Oh yeah, they used like the bacon
popcorn. How come I didn't get no goddamn bacon popcorn?
I can't. Hey, I got a happy life, man. So I keep my wife always happy, dude. That's all I'm saying.
I've never even heard of bacon popcorn. My old lady would lose her mind.
What are people doing right now?
Laying in bed watching Wonder Woman, knowing that it was the first day it was out. I watched it first showing right when it came out. I was laying in bed, all snuggled up, all warm with my new Mando Grogu shirt on.
You're
fucking
lazy, man. That's not fair. That's not exciting. That's sad.
No, I don't
get out there.
I actually don't even need popcorn.
Had some tamales.
You want to watch the previews and oh man.
No, look, okay,
you can't get that. Look, this is what you get when you get theater.
Looking girl be like, "Hey, you here for the movie too?" I'm okay.
Wait, real quickly.
My name's Corbin.
Corbin, here it is.
Movie.
Here, just let me give you a little advice. See this? This is what you get when you eat at home. What you get when you take her out to date at that place is some snot-nosed 16-year-old going like this and sticking their hands out.
Hey.
Would you like butter with that?
I don't go there with a date. I go there to find a date.
Yeah, no.
Find a date in the dark.
It's dark. You slide in. You're like, oh, I know a lot about Wonder Woman. I read the comics.
Mad TV or
who am I? Oh, I'm Corbin. Nice to meet you.
See, what happens, Corbin, though, the problem is everybody else there is on dates. Hey, girl, what you doing? I'm here with this dude right here.
The dude's going to get her popcorn. By the way, if she's eating popcorn from the popcorn lady, no. Hey, look, I smuggle in my own stuff to movie theaters anyways because I'm not eating their food. It's not that I can't afford it. I'm just not eating the snot-ridden kids.
Exactly.
I have friends that work there, man. I work crappy jobs too. I know what goes on. But let me tell you that not eating no snotty popcorn.
Exactly. That's why when I go to movies out here, I go to the Alamo. I'm trying to get litty. I'm gonna sit up there drinking an IPA, and
I got kicked out the Alamo. You can't talk at the Alamo.
Hey, girl, you gonna finish those jujubes?
Popcorn, maple bacon popcorn. I got maple bacon on my burger, son. Like that's what I'm eating. I'm not sitting up there going there for no popcorn. Can I have your number? Hey,
listen,
Corbin ain't coming back. Corbin, dude, come on, give it to
Hey, girl, what are you here for? To watch a fucking movie with my kids. What the fuck do you think I'm here for?
Excuse me. Are you by yourself?
You guys are a bunch of old people. It's not cool. Go out there and enjoy the movie.
Police.
I'm not a creeper. There's a game. I have theater game. Okay?
No, you do not.
That's a hole in his popcorn bucket.
Stop.
You get a small popcorn. You get a thing of peanut M&Ms and a large Coke. That's when I'm getting. That's my ready for war meal. You want to watch the movie? I'm putting my best foot forward.
Corbin, I'm gonna give you my best dating find woman advice in the world.
This is gonna be good. This is gonna be funny. This is gonna be funny. Go ahead.
You take a piece of cardboard and you write "good listener" on it, and you dangle that. You hang that right around your neck, and you dress in some nice clothes, and like shower first and get all cleaned up. You get a little trim going, and then you go to the grocery store and you get a pint of Haagen-Dazs and you get a bottle of wine, and you put them in your cart and you walk around for 30 fucking minutes and you continue up and down between that aisle of wine and Haagen-Dazs, and sooner or later you will find a girlfriend. I promise you, sooner or later you will find someone that wants to talk.
Don't take that advice. Please don't take that advice.
Promise.
It's not good advice.
Hey, all I'm saying is,
hey,
Corbin,
Dave, what are you doing
4
here?
days in a movie theater watching all the Marvel stuff, and you got nowhere.
Yeah.
So I think your plan of trying to find a woman at the movies is flawed, and you need to go back to the drawing board.
Well, it's just a philosophy.
Sweeping up the popcorn.
Okay, let's even throw the girls out of it. Movie theater is still an essential part of the industry. You can't. It's like throwing out digital comics. Not old people may not like them, but you need them.
Yeah, that's about right. Oh man, the chat's on fire. I'm sorry I missed the first half because if it was this good, I would have stayed in.
It wasn't.
No,
no, it wasn't.
Hey, there was a dude on Twitter that was doing that. I think it was either in New York or in the Bay, and he would sit up there and he would sit next to like pretty girls on the train and in the subway, and just sit there and be like, hey, and he opened his backpack, he made a table, and he put on flowers, and he had food and everything like that, and he was just like, you want to have a date with me?
That's class.
Hey, even Pee Wee Herman went to the movies by himself.
Hey,
who is Pee Wee Herman?
That's the problem.
Oh, guys.
You don't know who Pee Wee Herman is? Oh, what's wrong with you there? He's the dude that was spanking it at a movie theater. Once again, the reason why you don't go to movie theaters because of Pee Wee Herman. You don't want Pee Wee Herman to happen. No.
Okay.
You
really don't know who Pee Wee Herman is?
I've seen it's a TV show.
Yeah.
I've just never watched it. I work at
but do you know why he went to jail?
He went to jail? No.
Somebody stole his bike.
Do your research, son.
I'm gonna look it up now.
Yeah. No, don't look it up now. No.
Wait, just Pee Wee Herman jail?
Yeah, I guess you could do that.
Look up Paul Rubens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Kiwi. I've seen him before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the Blacklist he was in. Okay,
He's the
wait,
guy
where?
from the hamburger train.
Oh, 1991 arrest.
Yeah, let's not say what.
There it is.
Look at his face.
He offered to do a children's benefit to take care of.
No.
No. No.
That is, it's like, oh,
No.
Anyways, moving on.
Oh my god.
oh.
Yeah, dude, that's funny.
The
yeah.
word of the day.
Butter is popcorn.
Yes.
Yeah. That's great.
Wow. Okay.
Picking up
There
dates.
the more you know.
Rooms.
Oh, man.
Yeah. That's it. Don't believe the stuff you see about dating on the internet too. I highly doubt that works. I've seen people try to do it before in public, and it is not what it looks like on the internet. I will tell you that. Usually, people just laugh at you, and then some girl goes, "No, please don't. No, don't do that. Please,
One day.
just don't. You'll be all right."
I can't get the idea of Corbin going, "Hey girl, what you up to tonight?"
Hey, you watching?
In the movie theater. You know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Wait, what is the icebreaker there?
Well, the icebreaker, usually you watch
What kind
the
of soda
preview.
you got, girl?
You
What's
just
in
kind of
your
laugh
ice
really
cream?
loud at the end of a
That's what you
Is
do.
it
You
hard
turn
to-
it
Oh, you like that too?
You
Okay.
leave them hanging.
Corbin.
Oh, jeez. So
Even
what?
the
Hey,
internet's like, well, we
you
just
gotta
gotta stop.
manufacture one. You know what I mean? Once I dropped my M&Ms, but they fell behind the seat and I couldn't pick them up. Then I stopped doing that. But I used to just drop
Hey
something.
girl, can you get my M&Ms off the ground for me?
Wow.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're not gonna make fun of Corbin anymore. It's all Match.com. Anyways, comic book events. Yes.
we need to have a comic book
they're-
event. We need when they open back up. We need to do a comic book dating where we take these single dudes out and do a speed dating round and see if we can get a couple of them
We
dating.
need to do.
This is
comic
my
book
second
about
not
Corbin
good.
picking up chicks at the fucking movie.
No, we're not doing that. No. All right.
Anyway,
Man.
I think we're moving on from my segment. We're
Chicks
my
don't go to
segment-
the movie
my
theater long
segment
because
is
they're on a
excluded.
fucking date.
No, I was going to ask you this. So, like, if you. Jesus. All right. I probably shouldn't have come on because we got off the rails.
No,
real quick.
chat's lit. But
Hey girl, you want to see my Snickers?
hey,
So, like, what would you do? I mean, the question though with the events though, like, my only theory with it is this: you do one big event, and then if you want the individual characters in the big two, you let them have a 3-month event. That's it. They can do 4 weeks, 6 weeks total for it. Done. Keep those small ones, and that way you don't have to have the crossovers all the time. And the bleeding crossovers, I think, is what kills us on those events, right? That's what the big part is. Like, make the story solo.
I hate crossover shit. I that swords, that newest one with the swords. I got in by issue 2. I was like, I'm done. I'm not buying 40 fucking books of 10 different titles for this storyline. It's not worth it.
Hey. Yeah.
Oh man, these
Everybody
people
got jokes. Look at him just trying to come after everybody. Oh, geez.
Okay, at least the equal opportunity right now.
Right. No.
Oh, Marco
No.
really lost a pair of pants.
But I was gonna say, like, quality over quantity. Make it like 2 events a year. I guess the industry. I think the industry
Too many.
that.
And don't rehash because I didn't read Civil War 2, but like if you already did a good job with Civil War 1, why do we don't need another?
Exactly. It wasn't something we asked for, and you actually had a good thread going that you would have continued. And that's my thing too. Even with Batman, like if you're gonna do one, make sure that you are in a space where you can do some real What the fuck?
All right, we gotta go on to the next topic because we're gonna lose this topic. What's our next topic? Because we're
This
losing
topic's done. Bounce it back to Matt.
The chat is
The
killing
chat
us
is
on it.
they crazy tonight.
Man.
I'm glad to see everybody. Glad to see you guys got your packages into or your mail.
Thank you, Marco. Again, I meant to. Yes, I appreciate
I
it.
didn't see if you guys got them in or not, but I assume because I saw that book over there.
Well,
and-
mine got me. Yeah, I'll tell you later. Got a funny story.
Did I
about
screw
mine.
it up?
Well, why don't you tell the story right now?
Yeah, tell the story now. It's a funny
So
story.
yesterday, I had a neighbor I never. Someone knocked on the door, and
Was it a
I was
girl?
like-
Please tell me it was a girl.
it was, but it was.
Oh, you
it
got
was,
a date?
No, because it was her husband who asked her to bring them over here.
We're trying to swing.
She it was close. She was like, "Hi, is this piece of mail was given to me, but this address doesn't exist, and you guys are the closest address to it. I don't know who it's directed to, and it said CBB, and I was like, oh, actually, I think that's mine. And so I went and took it, and it was, I'm 61 South 132nd Street. It was addressed to 62 South 132nd
Wow.
Street. But
Did everybody get that?
Yeah, I was just about to say, hey man, hey.
but yeah, it almost felt like a dream. She was nice. It was beautiful. I was like, oh my God, thank you. Oh.
Hey,
So,
you
yeah,
see
my
what I
husband-
try to do for you? You see what I try to do for you?
Yeah.
I try to do it all. I can't do it all. I try to help you out, man. You just hurt yourself.
She said that her husband told her that, because she was going to throw it away, and her husband told her that. Yeah, I was like, my thing is, you wouldn't return to the post office, you're going to throw it away? And her husband told her to go find, go see if it was over here. So she came over, and
Hey, babe,
that's
we
how I
got
got
this
my
package
books.
in the mail. Throw that shit away.
Yeah, you shouldn't be throwing those books away, man.
Oh,
I
I
would
would.
be kind of mad about that.
Yeah, I would never have known, because it would never have gotten to me.
You know, we have these crazy addresses here in Arizona.
It was
Point being, Marco, it would have been a match made in heaven right there, because
that would you would have been like, hey, baby, I ain't gonna throw you away. What's up?
Well, I know a lot of people have been having big time troubles with the mail recently. Some people are getting their package in 2 days, and some people are getting the same, stuff sent to them in 2 months. So there's no rhyme or reason with how bad it is right now.
That was
Wow.
terrible.
No, I'm still waiting on all my Spawn stuff from the order 6 months ago, and now they're like, "Oh, by the way, we might have to ship it out in 3 separate boxes." I'm like, "Oh man,
No,
with me."
do you think some of this is like stuff that's like
doing?
What?
what are you doing?
Looking at the next topic, waiting to move on. Letting you guys talk.
Texting.
Hey,
Yeah.
do you guys
So they're like to me too.
do you guys think some of this is like people like oversold or stuff like that, and they're just trying to get their stock back in? Because there's some things that I've seen that haven't been up for a while. It's like, wait a minute, I mailed that stuff to Arizona a month ago, probably to you guys, something like that, and then it just comes in. Okay, I can get that. Like I know where my other stuff is because I took the hit on that other stuff and it got there finally, but that's a whole mess with eBay. But like I also know there's other stuff that we're supposed to get that's supposed to ship from down the street and it hasn't come in 2 months. And I'm like, oh, I think you're either trying to backfill or something like that. So, I mean, just watch out what you do and make sure you got the insurance on it because somebody might throw your package out, not go over to CBB.
Right? What the fuck? We're just gonna throw it away.
We're just gonna throw it away. I would have come out to Arizona.
At least open it and look at it first. Then if you're gonna throw it away.
I don't
do what
understand
normal
why,
people do. It open it first.
Like
realize it's not what you want, and then take it to your neighbor.
I'm hoping she was just trying to make herself sound like more of a good Samaritan. That doesn't make any sense to me. It wasn't even like it was like me. It was like a pretty big package, just like me. It was decent.
Wow.
It was like, beep beep. Okay.
Yeah, I like
Next
how you
topic.
put that in there.
What? Yo.
Listen, I don't do these jokes often. I had to get my one in and out. All right, let's go.
Wow.
I'm trying to help this young blood all the time. Just like, hey, like she came over with a package. You don't think she wanted to pick something else up? Like,
Yeah.
Well, I picked up my books.
But she got a husband and everything like that.
I showed her the door. Yeah, I ain't messing with
I
that.
showed her the door.
No, you probably look, tell the truth. You go, hey, do you want to watch Batman Revenge or whatever?
Batman forever, Marco. Batman forever. Get it straight, man.
I told you to stop saying that. Even my wife came and was like, do not do that anymore. I was like, don't do it. You're never going to get a date. Like, come on, man.
All right, listen.
Hey, you want to watch Batman Forever with me?
Oh.
I got it on VHS if you like it that style.
Well, no, I tried to tell a girl 2 weeks ago that Iron Man 3 was a Christmas movie, and then she stopped talking.
Focus your grocery shopping in between those 2 aisles. It will pay off. I am not kidding.
Once again,
Wine,
read the comments. Police
ice
will come
cream.
for you if you do that. Did you read the comments? They come for you. All right. What do you got?
Raymond,
For you, you're shopping. You're just grocery shopping.
yeah, shout out to Raymond who's working.
Yeah, shout out to the real ones.
Industry.
For real.
Definitely, we know it's not you guys. We know it's what's going on and all the craziness. I know John Z's brother also works for the post office, and man, yeah, you definitely
there's only
need
so
some
many
more help.
people
And
with 10 billion packages. So.
Yeah, it's a mess. Once again, I hope to everybody. By the way, okay, because I got this email from people too. When I said tip your mail people. You cannot just go in and hand them cash, man. They cannot take cash. You have to do it on the sly, dude. You can't just be like, oh, some guy on the internet told me to give you some money. No, that's not how that works, man. You gotta go
Hey,
like,
Marco,
oh,
would you
that's your
tell
Christmas
everybody
card.
to give me money then?
Yeah, please give Kyle money. Like, you got to give him like in a Christmas card or something to that effect. You can't just go in there and just start handing out bills or do like the palm, shake your hand, how you doing today thing. You do not walk into
like
your
here
post
we
office.
we have a community area post office or mailboxes here. So it's down the street. It's everybody's. You don't actually. Your mailman doesn't come to the door here.
Yeah, mine doesn't come to the door either. I have a mail. No, I don't want them. I don't want them walking all the way up the stairs now. I don't do that.
And we don't have the same mail person every day. It's like different people every day.
Hey, that's not so. Just fine, dude. What is this? What you're doing? You're crying that you're not going to give the mail person some little Christmas. We just saw our man in there say how tough it is delivering packages. He's working 16 hours a day. Give the guy some hot chocolate or some buttered popcorn or something. Who cares? Do something for him.
I gotta save my popcorn for the girl.
Hey, you know what I did to my mail person? I went, "Happy holidays."
You said you didn't know who it was. Now you do. Liar.
Oh man, I think what we do is just
Actually, I did to my brother-in-law's mail person.
We got to ride around in a pickup truck with one of those shirt bazookas from the NFL and NBA games, and just have shirts that say "thank you" on it with like $20 in there, and just be like, "Hey, we're on the road," and just like, "Hey, you guys doing a good job."
I'm in on that. I'm in on that. Whoever wants to do that, I'm ready. I can do that. That was fun.
Thank you so much.
Phoenix police shoot 4 guys driving around in a truck, shooting people out of the back of the truck.
Hey, that's how Ned Flanders
I do
Story
that.
at 9.
Do remember, you cannot bribe federal employees. It is a federal offense. Just saying, please don't
But you can shoot him with. But you can shoot him with a shirt gun.
Do not throw cash. Please do not throw cash at federal employees. Please don't throw cash at federal employees. Please do not do that.
Your shirt gun and stuff it full of ones, and just all of a sudden a poof, and there's this
You got the spotlight up there. Hey, how you doing? You be like, "Hey, you doing?"
dollar bills. Marco said, "Made it rain." Make it rain.
See.
There you go.
Do not. Yeah. Don't throw dollar bills at federal. No, and you cannot. And you also can't shoot projectiles at them either. It's really funny.
Not just at federal agents, at regular people as well.
Yeah. Well, if you're in the store and you've got Haagen-Dazs and some wine, that's really go-getters right there too. Haagen-Dazs and wine. What message are you sending out?
Marco told me to give you this.
I'm not trying to get myself in trouble with
That's
about
really
this.
Hey, we about to get warm and cozy, baby. Like it's real chill.
You want to get warm and cozy with somebody eating ice cream next to you? Like I'm good with no.
And cozy because it's cold. That ice cream.
If you don't know that wine and ice cream are comfort foods for a lot of women that may or may not have recently broken up, that is your loss, Marco. That is your loss.
No, it's probably.
Wait.
I always keep my women happy, dude. I don't need ice cream and wine, bro. What's up?
I'm gonna start looking at the wine aisle. Okay. I was just asking what aisle.
That's it, Corbin. You go for the wine.
If you really, go for barefoot. Is that still a thing? Barefoot wine? I don't know if it is.
Can we take a minute just to appreciate? He said, "I'm going to start lurking the wine aisle." I'm going to start patrolling.
I ain't gonna say it like that.
I'm
just gonna hang out over there
to talk about this.
It can't be worse than lurking in movie theaters going, "What up, baby? You want some butter on your popcorn?" Like, that can't be.
I don't say that.
I'll drop my M&Ms. Hey, I dropped my M&M under your seat. Could you pick it up for me? No, man.
The last thing I said was for The Invisible Woman. That was the last movie. And I was like, "Oh, this should be good."
My M&M call.
And then she said, "Yeah." And then I didn't know where to go with that.
What's your big con out there? No, for real. What is your big con and what month is it usually in? Because I'm taking him there and I'm filming him in. I'll be put on the event to have a dating thing for it. We're gonna speed date.
I've been to one.
No. We coach it up.
May. Our big one is in May.
Yeah.
All right. I'm down. All
right.
We're in it.
We're gonna rent out the theater. We're gonna have the intel. In your right ear. You're gonna sit up there and be like, "All right, Corbin. All right, this is a
I
good one.
got game. It just doesn't work.
Red
in
shirt,
winter.
black hair, and a ponytail.
$5 Chuck. Tell her you got some $5 Chuck in the car. $5 Chuck. Whatever she wants.
All right,
If she wants white, you got the Chardonnay. You got the more low $5 Chuck. You got the whatever.
Like, no. Wine and Haagen-Dazs. I'm telling you, fam.
Y'all got Trader Joe's out there, right?
So Corbin opens up his trench coat. And it's got wine and Haagen-Dazs and his Snickers bar.
Well, I'm just saying, if this is gonna happen, we might as well start begging for super chats now, so we can at least bill Corbin out of jail when you guys put him.
Well, yeah, we will. Hey, look, the police officers out there are very nice. I've had my fair share of dealings with them, and they'll leave you outside or inside for a very long time and take their time processing work. So it gets very expensive. So we will foot the bill for him going to jail. But it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it.
Please memorize my number so you
especially if Solo is the one giving him the advice of what to do. Like he's gonna be
that one town.
Solo behind my back today. I got a stick for Solo.
All I'm saying, bro, is that you need some eggs, so you go and you get eggs. And then you take a lap down the wine aisle. And then you need bacon, so then you go and you get bacon. And then you do a lap down the ice cream aisle.
You even have a girlfriend.
And you just keep doing that. You'll be all right.
So what you're saying is like when you go grocery shopping to get groceries for your house, then you go, hey, baby, I'm buying groceries. Why don't you come on over to see how my fridge is stocked? Like, how does that work?
No.
Like, who are you picking up?
Gotta be smart than that. Like, oh, hey, how are you doing? I love that ice cream. Oh, those are real nice shoes you got. And then you talk about shoes for a while. And then
those are real nice.
It's not that hard, man. It's not that hard.
You go to this Harkins regularly? I got some lines. How
about King in Black issue 2?
You go to this Harkins regularly.
You know what Harkins is. Try Trader Joe's. Hey, try the Whole Foods and the Trader Joe's. I think you'll do better there.
Yeah, let's step the game up, cuz.
Yeah. I don't know what Harkins is, but it sounds.
You never been to a Harkins theater?
I think you and Adonis need to spend less time at the basketball court and more time at the grocery store because he needs to teach you a thing or two.
I gotta be his wingman at the grocery store.
First off, and don't say anything about Batman Forever or Dodgeball. As cool as you think those two things are, it ain't gonna work. No, that's not what works, dude.
Gotham by Gaslight.
Oh, don't even say Gaslight. No.
Oh.
Told us he got some game.
I like Solo's pickup line though. I like your shoes.
hey, I'm not kidding. If you know about female shoes and you compliment them on their shoes, you just worked your way into a 45-minute conversation.
Where'd you get those shoes?
Look, I don't know what the women are like. I don't know what the women are like down in Arizona, but they must be herded for dates, dude. They just got to be herded for dates.
No, that works anywhere.
No,
women love shoes. You got to find out what they like. They don't want to talk about what you like. You know why? Because nobody likes Gotham by Gaslight. You like it.
Up here, if you go, hey, baby, I got a gallon of Haagen-Dazs. I like your shoes. That does not play out here. No, that does not.
Oh, you can't just say it like that, Marco.
Those ones they sell at the theater. Those little dikes. No, they're not called dikes.
Ice cream bites.
They're called bites. No.
Forget the movie theater, man. All right.
Dippin' Dots, son? Get your Dippin' Dots?
Dippin' Dots. No.
Not they have to get you out of jail now. They're going to come to your house because they're going to
your cookie dough bites.
Dibs.
Or dibs, yeah.
Dibs.
Oh man.
Sorry, it was close. I was thinking DI dibs. I could share my dibs, but they melt real quick. Actually, they're probably more of a solitary thing.
All I'm saying is,
but Your Honor, I know about female shoes. I'm in.
There you go. You're out. You got nice shoes, Your Honor. I was talking about shoes. 45 minutes later, I'm getting pushed under the ground.
All right.
She didn't even see the free candy sign on my white van.
Holy, interesting people. All right. What do we got, Matt?
Kyle, what were you trying to transition to, Kyle?
I don't even remember.
King in Black 2?
Yeah.
There's an event book for you, Corbin.
What?
King in Black.
I am. Oh, okay.
So break it down for us, Matt. What's going on with King in Black? It's actually a pretty interesting issue.
Yeah, it's the death of Eddie Brock. Is it a? And it's
Yeah.
interesting that in the back of the well, I mean, that's the big thing. It's the death of Eddie Brock, and pretty much Null he's the badass that everyone pretty much
like funny tracks.
What? What'd you say? I don't know. It's if Null is the badass everyone thought he was going to be. He's pretty much whooped everyone's ass so far. They come up with this plan to try and save Eddie Brock's life after being dropped off a building by taking the symbiote and the codex from one of the dragons and injecting it into him, and it doesn't take. And then, of course, they figure out Dylan is the key to all this and controlling symbiotes, and so they're going to try to do something with Dylan moving forward. But the big
now
question
I know why your comic book review show did so well.
Yep. The big question is it the end of Eddie Brock? Is this the end of Eddie Brock's time as Venom?
Like, for real?
I think Dylan's going to have something that's going to help
bring him back.
I think so.
Yeah,
something.
I can't see him just off in Eddie Brock.
I read issue 1. I haven't read issue 2 yet. And I enjoyed issue 1. I thought it was fun. Obviously, I like the line art. Stegman does a really good job. Yeah, is Eddie Brock going to be gone for real? Like we were talking about earlier about the events and everything like that. Like, is there going to be a real thing that has ramifications henceforth? Or is this going to be,
like making death permanent in comics? What?
Not a chance.
Exactly.
Alfred will be back.
Stacy died. He stayed dead.
Who?
Captain Stacy.
Yeah.
1 in 50 years. Congratulations,
Got all you guys to quit talking.
No, like I said, you got 1 in 50 years. That's awesome.
Isn't that like the thing though? Isn't that the thing with Venom and with Brock? Like, how many times has somebody else taken the Venom mantle so far?
Yeah,
like it seems like every 5 years.
Matt, Grogan, the Scorpion, and then Flash Thompson. Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's a single one too. And then they kind of do the. I mean, when you really think about some of the like other break-offs of the symbiotes, those were kind of used as add-ins to get away.
There's some of those break-offs are coming back. Like, didn't they do a side issue with not Mania, but who's the other female one from Planet?
Scream or something like that.
Yeah, Scream. Yeah. There's something for Planet Venom or something like that. There's a tie-in issue.
Yeah.
So I could see
that's what I kind of see is like, you know how they did the Spider-Verse, and what if they do like the Venom verse? All of a sudden you're gonna do the Venom verse, and it's gonna be
who was the cop?
Dylan,
he was in Dead No
He's gonna be fucking shit up.
He became anti-Venom.
No,
or Toxin. I mean,
was it Toxin?
No, Toxin was that was Matt Grogan.
Okay,
or Mark Grogan. That was Scorpion. Yeah.
Where he had like it was I think it was blue on top and then red on the top. But he was a police officer that he was helping Spider-Man a lot when a lot of these different spawns of the symbiote were going on and Spider-Man was battling them. I forgot his name, but Clayton Crane was the one that was doing the artwork for this, so that's why I remember it. Damn, I just can't remember the name of that one. Hold up. I'll be back.
I agree with Eric, though.
Hold, please. Yeah, I mean, do we know if Donny Cates is moving on to a different book after this event, or is he going to keep going in on this book?
What was this the book that sorry, I think he's got a point here. But wasn't this the point he wanted to? What else did he want to do besides Venom? There's one other book that he wanted to do besides Strange. He's already got Strange done. He already did Venom. Now that was the second one. Wasn't there one third property that he wanted to write on?
Didn't he say he wanted to go to DC and do Swamp Thing?
Maybe, but I thought there was one more Marvel property he wanted to do before he leaves.
There's a lot of speculation that he's going to go to Spider-Man, but I don't see that happening.
Why not?
Especially with all the talk. Well, because they're finishing up the Last Remain storyline that they're going through right now, and I believe Spencer is staying on that book, and Spider-Man's getting a new costume. They're teasing a new costume for him, and all these changes to that book. So I believe Spencer's staying on as a writer of ASM.
Yeah.
But,
well, that doesn't mean they can't do a spectacular or something else, and
right,
another Spider-Man type book with them. Which, I mean, I don't know. I mean, look, Donny Cates is great for business, right? And he's good for whatever. I just, after like an arc, I'm done with his books. And I mean, that's just he doesn't, just because he takes baths doesn't mean we have anything in common. You know what I mean?
But this Donny Cates' work though, Thor, Venom. Has there been any other writer who's had more speckable books this year than Cates?
No, like I said, he's good for business. Like he really is. But like, I mean, it's also tough because I like to buy and sell multiple copies of stuff I read, and I don't read much Cates, unfortunately.
And the crazy thing with this series, though, is it seems like there's more speckability in the tie-ins and one-offs than there are in the actual main story.
Yeah,
because you're getting the Spider Gwen or Gwenum, Mary Jane Carnage, the King in Black. You're getting the new Valkyries and the Valkyrie spinoff. So it just seems like there's more speckability in the side stories with this event than the main title.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's interesting. He keeps the market when Venom started coming out, when he started actually even when Strange was coming out, but you start hearing things, stuff started to move, and you knew Strange was a short-term thing, but it was cool, Domination, whatever. I actually did like that. I read that series because I liked him in the arcs. I even read his Guardians of the Galaxy stuff, which is good. But like when he got onto Venom, it was like, I mean, right off the door, people were speculating off of what he was going to do. The Thor stuff came up, everything like that, and you knew there was a movement already. So I mean, if he keeps, like, somebody just put in the comments, like, if he wants to do ASM, he'll get an ASM title, and I think that would, I mean, for comic book people, I think that's great on two storms. One, people will talk about it because people do like him, even though he can't finish an ending. People like his books.
Can't stick it.
Yeah, he can't, but who cares? He's not the only one that's in that case, but he actually does. He writes some good arcs. Like he really does. If you like him or dislike him, there's at least an arc or two you can find when he goes on long tangents, just like I do. You might not like all the stuff I talk about. You might hate some of the stuff I talk about, like people crying at Luke, but every once in a while he hit a home run, and that's how he is too. Some of his arcs are great, and you'll get something off of him every once in a while. I think he'll keep doing that, even if he goes over to DC. I think his idea is he wants to be the first writer to do DC, Marvel, and independent. He wants to be like Lee, right? He just wants to cross everything and just write whatever he wants and use all the characters he wants to use and call it a day on that. And why wouldn't you let him? Like we always talk about all the problems in the marketplace, right? And if you got a guy that's selling books, if it's because he's a self-promoter, if it's because he writes good arcs, it's because people like him, because he's popular. Whatever the case is, why you like him, he sells books. That's the bottom line. He sells them for independence. He sells them for Marvel. And if you can sell them for Marvel, I'm assuming you could probably sell something for DC too.
Correction real quick. Adonis just put it in the chat. Yeah, Toxin is who he was talking about. And I was thinking of Virus that just got introduced a couple issues ago.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Matt. So I was going to say, I think King in Black is going to lead to something that we saw at the back of an issue of Thor. I think King in Black's going to lead us here.
Oh,
I love that part.
Interesting.
So I don't know. I think this is just the start of things with.
Say what book that is, because not everybody can see your screen.
I can't remember what issue of Thor it's in.
Okay. Well,
let's see. Thor number 6.
Okay.
It's the last page of Thor number 6.
And then it also became the second print.
It's the cover for the second print of Thor number 6. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So
yeah, that's cool. Gonzo got it. Yeah.
I think that's where we're
Cates
leaving with that.
Anywhere. He's got way too many storylines built up to leave.
Well, he doesn't have to.
Well, weren't you guys talking about Cates leaving?
Well, he's exclusive to Marvel, so
Yeah.
he's not leaving to go anywhere. But it's just a matter of if he leaves the book, is he going to leave Venom
we're talking about
and move on to something else?
He'll still continue to write the null shit either way, which will always be part of the Venomverse, right? It's kind of stuck there. It's got to be part of it.
Yeah, I mean, what if he does do a split off though? What if he stops with Venom and leaves someone else to write Dylan, and then he comes up and does the Planet Hulk / Planet Venom or whatever they're going to call that side event, and then he gets his first big event. Because really, I mean, is this? I guess it's considered an event. Whatever, King in Black is an event. Is it an event? Whatever.
Yeah,
tie-ins. Yeah,
it's more of a. I mean, I guess
it goes across other books.
But what I'm saying is, like, if he gets like a huge event. You know
doesn't it go across some like 77 different tie-ins or something like that? Like, it's a ridiculous amount.
A bunch of one shots.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I don't have the money to keep up with shit like that.
What's that?
77.
I know it's like an astronomical number of like one shots and tie-ins and yeah, and he had Absolute Carnage before this, so
yeah. Because there were a lot of tie-ins for Absolute Carnage.
Dude, it was fucking insane to keep up with.
Yeah.
Like my comic book, like every week I went to the comic book, I was like, Jesus Christ, it was just so much money every week to keep up.
Did you think there was a payoff?
I think I got 1 through 5, and I think I was done.
That's a great point, Joe's. Yeah, he's definitely not exclusive to Marvel.
See, I think he is because they talk about it. He is exclusive to Marvel, but he's got some kind of deal worked out where he can write crossover for Image.
Because doesn't he have a small ownership in Image too?
And that I'm not sure of.
I think he does. I think they gave him a little piece of it. So I think
that'd be a good reason why he could write for him.
Yeah,
I think that's part of his exclusivity deal, that he's got it written that he can write this book for them.
Well, writing for Image, he should own his own rights for any of the characters that he does.
But he's borrowing rights from other
crossover users.
Yeah.
You just make the guy. I think they finally figured out who cares. Just make the guy who's selling the most comic books happy at this point. JJ, the only problem I typically agree with JJ, and he's always got great insights. The only thing I'll say about this is, for years now, I've been hearing the same thing about Cates, right? Like when he first started doing the Strange thing, then he started doing the GOT thing, and then he started doing the Venom thing when he went through the first run of Absolute Venom. You always heard like, yeah, but people are gonna grow tired of him because he can't stick the landing, and other creators are gonna be sick of him not picking up the pieces. And how many years has it been now? When did Absolute Venom come out or whatever it was? It was a while. Absolute Carnage. It was a while ago, right? Like that Strange stuff was
this year
ago. Was it the Strange stuff was 4 years ago? Was that what it was?
But he has that uncanny ability to go. He's a reader, so he's got that ability to go back and find stuff that you've forgotten about from years ago and bring it up and get you excited again as a reader to where you're willing to keep going with him for that fact alone, because he just keeps pulling that stuff.
That's what I'm saying. And it doesn't seem to really be annoying too many writers. They actually they joke around all the time. A lot of them do with him about what he does and everything else. It doesn't seem like there are certain writers you hear backlash to sometimes of what they've done with stories and stuff. And usually that comes out later, but with him, it seems like he's getting people pumped, not just people who read the books, but actually writers and creators too. So I don't think, as much as we get sick of hearing his name sometimes, I don't think everybody else is getting sick of hearing his name, because every time it comes up that he might be on his, oh, well, he can't stick the land. We say it here all the time, and I'm not taking anything away from the man. I think he's great. I think he's brilliant. Just because he doesn't write my style of thing, that doesn't mean that he's not good, right? You know, he's obviously good. I think that's what you got to take out of it, especially in like the speculation market. Fine, man. How much has he made you so far? Because I know Venom 3 has made me a lot of money. So like, I'll take a gamble on him again, and I'll keep throwing dice on him because he keeps making more money. Thor, who the heck? Those books you were getting for $1 a piece, man.
So Donny Cates signed an exclusive deal with Marvel back in July of 2017. At the time, it wasn't really necessarily an exclusive, like you said, Matt. I mean, like people are saying, he signed an exclusive deal with Marvel, but he's still able to write his creator-owned stories on Image.
Okay.
So he's got a loophole.
So not really exclusive, but exclusive. It's weird.
He got big too. He's exclusive.
Yeah, he's just making big money at Marvel. That's what it means.
Yeah, Raymond, I would have figured this one would have had more legs, but it didn't. Like I thought Hickman, but you know what? That happened. You know, that was kind of the complaint when you talk about East versus West too. Like there's that middle portion of East versus West where he kind of gets away from it, and you're like, oh.
I thought the Hickman X-Men was the best X-Men story done in 10 years.
I know, but it's still going on. but it's
I know.
still going on.
It's still good. It's amazing. X-Men has been great. I didn't like the ending. I think the ending was a little cheesy, but again, I go into all events and big
Expecting close.
expecting that the ending won't be that good. It's really hard to stick a landing.
Sure.
But I loved everything that Hickman did because Hickman kind of fixed the continuity in the X-Men universe.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like that portion of it too. I like the first thing, but like Sword of X, which everybody can have different opinions of it too. But Invite thinks it's one of the best. That's not on my top list of best events ever. And some of the other stuff felt like when it came out, when they started doing all the split ups, I thought Marauders was probably the best one that came out of it, which by the way, I was wrong. Every day I walk into the LCS, they joke about that too. Like, hey, remember that time Marco was wrong because he's still buying Marauders? And I was like, yeah, well, I was wrong. Definitely. I don't think anybody was calling about how good that book was. And Hickman had a lot to do with it. I get that. But I also have to agree with Raymond. Like, it has become exhausting because it was just like 18,000 tie-ins. And then they did X Swords again. And they just rebooted the tie-ins. They didn't really, the story is okay. But, that's Hickman's way. He pours more on top of each other. He'll come out of it all right. But I think he does. Like I said, whatever. He'll be all right.
But I want to talk before Corbin. He's saying he's going to dip. Oh, he did dip. Okay, never mind. We can go back to that. Oh, there's Corbin. So I want to talk real quick. Go back to Batman, but I want to talk Batman Beyond and Batman Beyond 50, the final issue. And Corbin, I want to know with Future State coming up.
Okay.
With Future State coming up, so Terry McGinnis has received an offer from Diana to join, saying that there always needs to be a Batman in the Justice League, and he looks like he's finally set to accept that offer. Where do you see Batman Beyond going from here?
What's that?
Okay, good answer.
No. Listen, my backside's all right.
Your backside's what?
It's itching. That's why I was trying to do this jam. It's just not a great show to be doing that. But anyway, all right.
Man with itchy butt, wake up with stinky finger.
Thanks.
It's not my butt. It's right here, dude. Okay, it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna whatever. I don't know. I feel like I'm almost upset that the end of this run has come. First and foremost, I've loved the Batman Beyond run. I've delayed reading. No, I've delayed reading the end. I've read almost all of it. I missed like the very, very beginning. I'm catching up on that, but like I haven't read the last two of the last one of this. Told you I haven't picked it up yet. So I don't want to read it. I'm hurt. Like I've loved this run up to this point. As far as him joining the Justice League, we were talking about this a little bit earlier. I don't know. I just feel like that's not his way. Like, I feel like he would do best like Batman did, a part-time member. There's been moments in comics where he's been a part of it, but he's never that guy. Now, for the conclusion of this particular run, I think it makes the most sense. And then somebody else could, like, go back on or whatever the case may be. But I think it makes sense for this just to put, like, a fait to complete on this particular run. What's kind of laughing at? But that's of course. Now I gotta check them out.
Man with stinky finger meets stinky girl room feeder.
Yeah, I'm definitely out, guys. Good night. On that note, no, I'm playing.
Is he lying though? Like,
no, he is wrong because I didn't say it was my butt. I told y'all, like, it's not my butt.
Come on,
it's not. Y'all Kyle went up and made that analogy or whatever he was talking about, and people just ran with it.
Backside. That backside is a direct term for your butt.
No, like my literal back. Like my
your back is just your back.
Right
the back
here.
Of your head is the back of your head. Your backside is your butt.
I refer to that as my bottom. My bottom is itchy. My bottom is runny. I got runny bum. That's not what I have.
You got runny bum.
Well, no, I don't. I was giving an example of what I would say. You know what? I'm out of here.
Hey, I was only supposed to be out for 2 minutes. I gotta go digging in the morning anyways. So I really have to peace out.
No.
I'm definitely leaving that dirty digging bottom buns or whatever the hell you said. I try to help you, man.
No. You should have cut in for Kyle. I was trying to say what I would say if it was my bottom. That was an example, an expression, a figure of speech.
I don't care about your bottom, bro.
I'm not saying anything about my bottom. I'm saying if I had something about my bottom, that's what I would have said. Okay, you know what?
Upper back.
Finish with Batman Beyond.
Seriously, I gotta go, guys. I do.
All right,
All right, man. It's good seeing everybody. I'll see y'all later.
Oh my god!
A bottom bum. I mean, I don't know what you're doing, dude.
Listen, I'm not doing anything. All right, I just feel like between Dan Jurgens and Sean Chen, there's been an amazing Batman run. I guess it would make sense for him to join the Justice League and to close this out. I just feel like that's unlike his character. Terry takes a lot after Bruce. Bruce is always a part-time member. That mentorship, that type of attitude is rubbed off on Terry. I think for the conclusion of this run, that's fine. All in all, no, I'm not a super huge fan about it.
The other big book that came out this week that I want to talk to Brian about, because I know he's a Swamp Man or a Swamp Thing fan, is the Justice League Dark. Is there any speculability in for this new Swamp Thing? Do you think, Brian?
I don't think right now there's much speculability on that new Swamp Thing. I didn't read it. I know there's definitely speculability in Justice League Dark. You know, that movie or that TV shows, whatever they're going to do, is going to be good. I don't see it not being good. So,
do you think Brian, the spec is in that book, Justice League Dark, or do you think it's in
Swamp
other
Thing 50,
characters?
Swamp Thing 50 and 51, and I think there's an annual also in that run. I think those are the books to get, and then I think the biggest books to spec on for Justice League Dark, in my opinion, are Zatanna. If you can get any Zatanna books right now, that character, if they do her right on any type of screen, is going to blow sky high. I mean, it's just going to be nutso. I think the best character out of all the characters in Justice League Dark, for me, are Swamp Thing and Deadman, but they're the least exciting characters. I think they're the more like get in your heads type characters. Constantine's going to be great to spec on. And I don't know what else they're going to go. I heard that they were going to bring in some other characters that might not necessarily be Justice League Dark type characters, but who knows? I love that first Justice League Dark and the New 52 run. I thought that was a great run. I know that first issue, it's really hard to get in high grade, especially at the second printing, which I think was a red cover. I think that there are some, when it comes to the Zatanna issues, the Brian Ballin stuff in her that short little miniseries they did for DC, they did some really amazing variants for that. Plus all the Adam Hughes, I think somebody might have said it already. Patrick said it. All the Adam Hughes Zatanna covers are just killer. So I would get those. But yeah, Zatanna is definitely the character spec in that run.
So you don't think, knowing that we're going to get a new Swamp Thing standalone title after Future State, you don't think that this Swamp Thing is going to continue on? You think it's just kind of in this endless winter story, and it's going to be null and void by the end of it?
I think Swamp Thing, especially new Swamp Thing books, are super hard to spec on. Unless there's a new character involved that is going to be good, Swamp Thing books are just too hard to spec on unless they're the Alan Moore run or the Bernie Wrightson stuff. They're just too hard. Swamp Thing is not he's a beloved character, but not outside of comics. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I think a big part of that's he's never been done right. I don't think he's ever been done.
I think the newest show was done really good.
Well, yeah. Okay, I will take that back. I will eat some crow right there. I will. I do agree that, but they didn't leave it out there. I mean, it's for lack of a better analogy, it's a Firefly all over again. Where
DC,
they put it out
doesn't know how to handle.
They didn't handle it right. They didn't leave it out there, and then all the fans finally found out about it, and all the people found out about it, and now they're like, "Well, where can I watch it?" And there's nowhere to get it.
Yeah,
you can't find it. It's not out there. They should have left it out there and then picked it back up. And I think they dropped the ball on that.
I very much so agree. The show, because I like the movie from way back in the day when I got introduced to Swamp Thing, and then I found out, oh, he has comics and things like that, and I would dabble in it every once in a while. But then once the show came out on DC Universe, I was super hyped. I wanted to watch it just because I was like, oh, well, I like Swamp Thing from way back in the day, so let me check this out. And then I saw the first episode and I was just like, okay, I want more. And then halfway through the friggin' first season, they sit up there and say, oh, it's canceled. I didn't even finish it because I was like, what's the point? What's the point? They're not going to do anything with it. And
yeah, they ruined it by doing that. Yeah.
I was so thrilled. And now I hear, like earlier this year, I heard that they were going to put it on the CW. And I was like, no. One of the things that made it good is how dark it could get.
Yeah.
And that needs to be a consistent thing. That needs to be a consistent thing. That's the thing that I don't get. I don't understand with a lot of these people that are making all this noise about DC. Oh yeah, it's a little bit too dark and everything. Like I can't take my kids. I mean, like, yo, okay, and
yeah,
the story is good.
Yeah, but then they have the Joker that sold out, rated R movie that sold out more, box office hits and wins awards and gets, best actor and all this other crap. But they're worried about Swamp Thing being too dark.
It doesn't make any sense. They're not consistent with their theme because it's like Joker is DC, but that's something else. That's something else. That's not us. What we're looking at is Shazam. We're gonna do stuff like this. I'm like, B. Like there are things that are like that, but not all of them. Okay.
DC has missed the mark so much more than they've hit the mark. They hit the mark in the original Wonder Woman movie and fucked it all up. They hit the mark with I think the original Suicide Squad story and the premise that we were going to get it being dark before the movie came out, and then they saw Deadpool and fucked up Suicide Squad. You know what I mean? They did the same thing with Justice League. Like I know we're tired of hearing about the Snyder Cut, but everybody's stoked to see that Snyder Cut. You know what I mean? So
shit.
I'm willing to bet that they fuck it up.
Well, after Wonder Woman, I have no hope for Snyder Cut.
I have no hope for yes.
Why? It's a totally different director.
Yeah, I think it's a different perspective on on what a comic book movie should be. So,
well, I get it though. I get what you're saying, Matt, because it's DC. I'm kind of there with you. The only thing that I will say is that I want to give the Snyder Cut a little bit of rope to necessarily hang itself or save itself, because I want to give Snyder the benefit of the doubt. Like he really wanted to make this movie a certain way, and shitty life events made him have to step out. And Whedon destroyed everything. From what we're hearing, like Whedon is wasn't a great director on that, but he was also kind of a dickhead. So,
oh yeah,
it's. I'm just so disappointed with DC, man, and I hate to keep saying that because I really want to see DC do well. I want to be. You remember how stoked we were every week reporting? Like, I remember being coming an absolute geek after the new Batman, the Snyder shit would come out, and we would be so excited to talk about what happened in that issue. So stoked. Like I would call Kyle the second I got home from the store and read that issue. I would call like, dude, holy shit, did you fucking read, Batman? Like when that the Joker storyline was going on and that, whew, there was nothing better, and DC was so good, was so much fun. And even in that new 52 run, like there was a lot of good DC stuff. And I don't know what to say about DC anymore.
They dropping the ball and they trying to be like Marvel. They're trying to be like something that they're not, and they need to understand that they're in a different niche, and they need to hone. They need to take advantage of that rather than trying to shun it away. That's the thing. It's like all of these things about that people are talking about. Just changing a character's color and everything like that, so there can be more inclusion and stuff like that. Or you can be happy with who you are and own that shit. Like take their own advice.
They have a great history. Like Marvel did what they did and it worked. DC looked at it and went, we need to do that, and it didn't work. So go back to your bread and butter. DC has a great history of characters and storylines and this and that. Bring back some of those characters. Like, give us some of the New Gods stuff and stick with it. Give us some dope-ass dark side shit and stick with it.
Is Dark's, Justice League dark? I hope they keep it dark. I hope that I hope they bring in Swamp Thing and sell it. I hope they bring in Deadman and sell it. Like, how many people don't know about Deadman? And that's a great character. I love that character. He's awesome. How
I
many
wouldn't be
people
mad if they
know
brought
about-
Batman in.
I wouldn't either. But I'd like to see them build on Constantine. Everybody would like to see Constantine and see it done really well. Hell, Keanu Reeves is like, absolutely, I'm in. I'd love to knock this one out of the park. Let's get some good writers. Let's get some good story. Let's keep it dark. Bring in Etrigan. Bring in Zatanna. Bring in some of the lesser knowns. Bring in a guest appearance of Lobo. And start introducing some of your other characters. Here's a great chance. But keep it dark. Don't be looking for the WB.
Keep the
Don't
villain for a while. Whoever they decide to make let's carry it over a few movies.
Yeah, let's make this work for a long period of time on HBO Max. Keep it a show that's running, and that I think that's their ticket to win. I'm really fingers crossed. I'm pulling for them to keep this a dark. And even with a dark movie, you can have a little bit of humor in there.
Exactly.
It's not hard to do. You can do it, but keep it dark and keep it rolling and get a good rolling, continuity through it and bring in here's your Avengers tie-in movie. Here's your chance to bring in all these characters and maybe later opening paths to maybe later take that fork in the road and do a Constantine show or do a Zatanna show or do a, whatever.
What kills me with Constantine is if you look at the top 20, the best comics of 2020, Constantine Hellblazer is constantly at the top of those lists, within the top 5 of those lists, and they can't transition that into a good TV show. So Marvel has Kevin Feige, who out there can take the DC and take that Feige-esque role and take the DC universe to where it needs to be? Is there anybody out there that can do that?
Shit,
The first one that comes to mind is Kevin Smith, but I think he's too light. I think he's too funny, and I think he's going to make it too many fart jokes.
And he's admitted that. He's like, that's who I am. If you want silly, funny dick and fart jokes, I'm your guy. I've even heard him say that multiple times. I'm not, you know what I mean? So, like, if that's what you want, yeah. But I don't think we know. I think that we all thought it was Jeff Johns, and then I don't know if it's Jeff Johns. You know what I mean? Like,
he had a big part in this new Wonder Woman movie, and he didn't.
But we're not asking Kevin Smith to write the scripts. We're saying, here's the script. Does this work? And have him go over it and be like, no, this doesn't work. This doesn't work via the DC universe. That doesn't work in this character's, outline to this comic. It's not true to the character. You kind of just need him to be in that role to be like, this works, this doesn't work.
I don't think the guy.
I don't think we know who the guy is. I think the guy is some backroom comic guy that everybody knows that works in the industry, but we don't. I'll be honest. Yeah.
And maybe he's not even in the industry yet and he's up and coming. But I think that you're right, Matt. I think that you have a panel of 4 or 5 guys and you put Kevin Smith in there to help keep some of that continuity because he's so familiar with it. Yeah. And you tell the 5, hey, here you go. Where are we at? How does this work? How does this not work? What do we need?
I tell you, it's definitely not. It's definitely not Ethan Van Sciver. Man, I listen to that guy just rip on DC constantly. And some of these people that I hear ripping on DC kind of makes me go, well, if they're ripping on DC, then like, what do they know? You know what I mean? Like, I don't hear very many people talking about great things from DC lately, and it's sad. It's really sad.
I wouldn't mind seeing them bring in a lot of the guys that did the Justice League Unlimited animated series and Justice League, from 10 years ago now. And they collaborated and helped a lot on the Teen Titans original run. They did a lot of the same people did a lot of the animated features, like the Wonder Woman that they took the movie from the animated feature, the Aquaman that they took the movie from animated feature, Flashpoint. I mean, those all worked and played very, very well. And the movies that they stayed close to the animated feature did very well. When they strayed away from them, they went to shit.
Yeah.
So I think if they can build a good panel and a good team out of that same team that was making them money and we were all enjoying it, why would you stray away from that success? I don't understand why they did that.
They're trying to be like someone else rather than be like themselves.
Yeah.
And that's what's skewing their viewpoint. They don't understand that they have all this gold right there in their at their fingertips, and they're just like it's like when you get a girl that's like, oh my god, I love you so much. I would love you a little bit more if you just did this. If you just did that. If you just did that. Like, dude,
every female out there.
If she didn't love me before my $600, she ain't gonna like me after my $600.
Exactly. Like,
I thought we were gonna get through the whole show without something like that.
But I mean, you know, like, they just need to understand. Like, I mean, I really enjoyed Watchmen because of how they did it. I love the show. I love the movie. I love that. The show Constantine, I liked it. I thought that I would have liked it a lot more if it was on a different network, because then they would have gone darker with it. They would have allowed for these dark elements to showcase. That's why when Swamp Thing came out, like I was saying, I was hyped. I was just like, okay, because of what I saw with Doom Patrol, I'm excited to what I'm going to see with Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
So,
okay, I almost hate to even say it. I don't think that he has the continuity, but I think he could write it dark enough. What about Stephen King?
Shit. Oh, man.
I don't think he could do it.
I don't think he could do it either.
You don't have the patience for
I mean,
the comics.
you're going to have someone that can write that dark.
Yeah. But but look at the Stand that's going on CBS again. Like, I would expect now, especially, for that to be on FX or Hulu or AMC or something like that, so we can get a lot more of what we want from the books, not the sugar-coated version. I mean, it's gonna be this is gonna be the second run that it's on, you know, national TV and all that stuff, a national TV network rather than a streaming platform. Like, why would Steven, what's up? Like,
why not his, like, invite to Raid, and a couple other people in the chat have said, why not his son? Why not Joe Hill?
I don't think he's a bad person, but he hasn't been in comics very long, has he? He's only been in comics like 5-6 years or something. Lock and Key. When did Lock and Key start? I'm not saying he's not a bad person, but like, I don't think we know who this person is.
I'm not saying like to write. I don't want someone writing the scripts. I'm saying to be that guy, to be that Kevin Feige, that, hey, this works, this doesn't work, this sticks with continuity, this does not stick with continuity. Why would this character do that?
You need to do the movies, not the
right,
not to be editor-in-chief of DC.
Yeah, right. I'm talking to do the movies.
And I'm talking, okay, so we get Joe Hill in there, and he starts writing the scripts. He starts doing the stuff, and then you have a panel of 5 or 6, you know, with your Kevin Smith and your, you know, all the people from the animation that did so good, and keep the continuity and keep him in check, and tell him you need to rewrite this, you need to rewrite that, and have him fine tune it and go back and then do it again. You know what I mean? I think it's going to take a team for them to fix their issues.
I think the James Gunn stuff's interesting. It's interesting to think about. I know people crucify him for what he did on Suicide Squad, right? They didn't like it, or they don't think they're going to like it. And, you know, look what he did to Guardians of the Galaxy. I know a lot of people didn't like Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but I don't know, James Gunn sounds like he's a pretty fun, real respected person in the business, and he's, you know, good at making movies. So I don't know. I think it's hard.
And Raymond Richards is exactly, I mean, he agrees with exactly what we're saying. You have too many unused characters. Stop with the Superman, the Batman, the Wonder Woman. Why don't you pick up all these other great characters that you have? The Swamp Things, the Dead Man, the Etrigan, the Constantine.
Well, DC is going through some crazy times. Not only they're cutting titles, I think they just released a bunch more people, like day before Christmas or something. Like, I don't know. It's sad. It's really sad to see what's going on there. Let's cross our fingers and hope that Future State goes well. Let's hope that Red X or there's a couple, 3-4 characters that come out of there just that excited the hobby, that lit a fire under a lot of people's ass. And that's about all we can hope for at this point.
So when I was at the comic book store on Christmas Eve, I was picking up my books and I was digging through and I was signing up for my Future State titles, the ones that I wanted to make sure that I got.
Yeah.
And the owner of the local comic book store I go to said he doesn't know how to gauge this Future State because he says people are being like, you know what, I'm just gonna wait. So I think he's getting, as he said, as a comic book store owner, he's having a hard time gauging. And I wonder if this is across the board. Is everybody with this attitude towards DC? Are they going to be like, is that going to not help Future State? Because I think everybody's like, I'm not sure about Future State. I don't know about Future State. I don't know about Future. And exactly what people are saying in the chat right now.
I think it's a panic because if you look back to a couple years ago, Kyle, they did the same thing with Rebirth. They said, oh, well, when Rebirth comes out, we're going to do titles, weekly titles. It's going to be these core titles. We're only going to have this many titles, and that's it. And over time, that changed, and they expanded their titles and expanded their titles and expanded their titles. And now it seems like that's what they're doing again, is they're cutting it back to 30-some titles. It just seems very familiar. So it just kind of seems like the same playbook over again. They're rebooting their universe to go because they've pigeonholed themselves, and I don't think Future State is.
Well, Future State's only a couple months,
right? But it's going to have a lasting effect because it's going to span out into these books, and this stuff's going to play into it. But I think, I don't know. I think it's too soon to freak out on what Future State's going to do.
For a long time again. I think they're going to work Future State back in at a different time.
Well, that might even be kind of a decent spec. I mean, if that makes sense, if people are holding off on buying a lot of these books and then all of a sudden Future State lands it and all these comic book stores didn't order a lot of the Future States, the 1s, the 2s, maybe have a couple of books sitting there that people are like, oh, you know what? Now I'm looking for that 6 months down the road.
Well, I think comic book stores are going to be under ordering this book because of how everybody is right now.
Yeah.
Or it could be the opposite. They could over order because Yara Flora is already out there and they're talking about her and they're talking about Red X. So I think some of these books are going to be over ordered. And what if they don't land?
Yeah, it's scary for sure, and the Trade 666 said it. I mean, there's hardly no information, and it makes it scary.
Well, did you guys read the preview? I think they put out a preview for Dark Detective, where Bruce Wayne, basically they show like Bruce Wayne's fate in the future. And he, whatever, he gets shot in an alley like his parents did, and it was kind of weird. And I'm just like, man, I'm so tired of this type of stuff. I get it. I say that they have a history, but don't go back to the same well. Don't go back to that same well 1,000 times. So I don't know.
Time to start drilling somewhere else.
That's one of the reasons why, like I said before, I gravitate more towards the independent comics. Yes, it may be a shorter run, but I'm pretty much damn near, gonna get a really thick and juicy storyline and be satisfied and be like, man, I really enjoyed what I just dove into.
Sure.
I guess now I find a new one.
They have said, I mean, they came out and basically said that the future state, there's a lot of characters in the future state that are here to state, and there's going to be some major, like you guys said, defining moments in this. And, but I feel like they say that for every event, you know, like you guys were talking about earlier, it feels like every event is like that. But at this point, all we can do is just really hope that this turns out good. Yep. Let's check them out. Let's actually read them, give them a chance, give some of these characters a chance. It's going to be really weird with all the backlash about Wonder Woman 84 to see if this Wonder Woman character even takes off. Like that's what they were hoping. I think that this Wonder Woman movie would do so well, and then it would cause, you know, kids
They
or
should have
people
rewrote the movie then.
Yeah, they could have gone back and you know read these books. I mean, I even got I got Facebook messages or eBay messages from people that have bought recently stuff from me on eBay. Hit me up. 2 guys hit me up. Hey, do you have any graded or do you have any Wonder Woman titles? One of them guys like, hey, do you have any graded Wonder Woman stuff? I need stuff for my kid. And I'm like, so I thought this was before I saw the movie. So I was like, okay, maybe the movie is good. I don't, you know, and that all went out the window.
Then I saw it and I felt like, wow.
I don't know.
Green
Maybe
Lantern,
kids
Green
love
Lantern 2 sucked.
Yeah, maybe kids really are going to love it, or they do love it, and that could help. I'm cool with that. But the crazy thing is that some of these Wonder Woman books are just so low price wise. I mean, they have continued just to dive and dive and dive and dive and. Some of them I didn't think they can get that low. I know our friend Steve Horn finally sold his first appearance of Cheetah, and he was just so happy to get rid of it. He sold it for so low, but like,
and isn't Nico was having troubles with his too, wasn't he?
We all are. I mean, that book was supposed to skyrocket because of this, but the movie just didn't look that great coming out. They waited on it so long, and you know that's part of it. Yeah, it's kind of sad that the hype that we see with prices on Marvel books compared to DC books. I got one for you. Remember when Robin King came out? What happened? Where's Robin King? Why isn't Robin King? Why aren't we talking about Robin King anymore? What happened to that storyline?
I just picked up my variant Christmas Eve. I went to the LCS and I picked up some of my stuff I'd been sitting and holding, and I just finally got my. You know, it was sitting in my pull box, but
the 1 in 25. With the big dinosaur on it?
No, the other one. The cover where he's got the Wolverine claws.
That's another failed opportunity. Everybody was so stoked for that character, and like, you know, that was building on its own. Like Mel V says, the beat was building. Got to let the beat build, and the talk was building. All we saw was the image of Robin King. You remember that? We just saw that badass image, and we're like, holy shit, this character is gonna be badass. This character, people were even saying this character will be it'll be better than Batman Who Laughs. Like this character is going to be dark and really cool and this and that. God, that's not good. Well, actually it's not bad without those weird bird wing bones.
I love that cover.
And nobody's talking about that character anymore. What a failed opportunity. Same with Punchline. Like, I haven't really liked Punchline from the get, but that character was super, super. People were excited about that, and I feel like that's a semi-failed opportunity now. Yeah, so we'll see. Whereas with Marvel, it feels like anything Marvel's doing right now, they're hitting the mark. You know, what was the only character? One of the few characters that we were like, hey, we haven't heard about this character yet, and boom, they dropped the Riri Williams spec, and now Riri Williams stuff is just on fire, just crazy, putting up numbers that I never would have thought her books would put up. So
there's a lot of other Marvel stuff that I thought would hit that didn't. That's not all, and granted, I like a lot of the stuff that a lot of people don't. So,
yeah.
Well,
it's gonna be interesting.
Spider-Woman would take off a lot better than it did.
I didn't. So I'll be honest. Spider-Woman is, especially the Jessica Drew character. It's just not. It's not a very good character. Like, no offense, I know you love her, but like, if somebody told me the Watcher isn't the greatest character in the world, I'd be like, yeah, you're right. You're right. He's not.
No, I agree. She's not the greatest character in the world, but I love her, and
Yeah.
I thought they were going to do a little bit better with what they're doing.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Naomi stuff, because man, they have a real chance here. They've got a real chance here with that, with what they're doing with this character and where they're. I know everybody's a little bummed on where they're going to put her, but that's another thing. Let's cross our fingers and hope that works and creates buzz. And you remember when Arrow first came out and Flash was first starting, all the buzz around the comics, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was so much fun, and people were going and reading old stories and going and reading the Flashpoint stuff again, not for spec, just based on I want to read this because of the show. And they were taking a lot of stuff from that. It was a lot of fun. I hope Naomi that can restart that stuff again with DC and some of their TV stuff that we just haven't got. Some of the guys on, I forget what show we were talking about, but they were talking about the milestone stuff. If they can start bringing that milestone stuff to the screen in a good way, if we can get some really cool static stuff on the big screen or the small screen in a real good way. Like, I don't want to pander to kids. I don't want to pander to anything. I want it to be gritty, like how it was supposed to meant to be. I mean, you don't call that book static for nothing.
Michael B. is going to he's going to put in a lot of work on that, and I have full confidence for that for the milestone run. I have a lot of confidence. So like Lovecraft Country, I read the book before the show came out, and I liked the book. I thought it was cool. Then the show came out, and it made me realize that there were a lot of things that were missing, that the show took advantage of gaps, those holes, and just, man, they just did so much in there. And I think that a lot of the things that Milestone started to do and kind of faded out on, right now, they are going to take full advantage of that stuff and explode it to another level that we are ready for, but we don't know that we're ready for it. So we're gonna be like, oh, it's gonna do.
A lot of people don't know those stories too. Milestone wasn't the biggest hit, for very long, and a lot of people don't realize those stories. And there's probably some gold in there that they could. And right now is a perfect time. Like right now with the politics and all that stuff that's going on in our country, it's a perfect time to throw those out to the public.
Yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. The Static Shock show that introduced me to the character itself and made me just like, whoa, that's cool. Because I saw a couple of other characters beforehand, but not Static. And with Static at that age point where I was in my life and everything like that, and that cartoon, when I would sit there and watch that, I'm like, man, this makes so much sense. I get all of this and what they're trying to do. And now that I'm older and what we all went through this year.
Yeah, you have kids too. Yeah, that makes you think a different way.
Exactly. We gotta make sure that this stuff is out there and it's being done right. We want these characters to be represented properly, so all of these memories and feelings that we have associated with these storylines, with these universes that were created to house these characters, is showcased properly. So everybody else who gets introduced to these worlds has the same feeling that we do.
Yep. We'll see. Again, cross our fingers. Our fingers.
Well, and unfortunately with that, I mean, just like our childhood, it may be 10 to 20 years before we see, a big payout on some of that stuff. In 20 years, look back on Punchline #1. It may be a huge book. It may be garbage. But, it may take that 10 to 20 year mark before we know.
Well, DC better do something quick because they might not be around in 10 years.
Shit. Well, I'm not going to be around for the rest of the evening. I'm going to go.
Later, Adonis. Thank you for chilling out, brother.
Thanks, Adonis. Have a good one. Good to see you, buddy. So I want to ask a real quick question here that came up on Wednesday when I was at my LCS. So I was picking up Ice Cream Man 22, and I think a gentleman at the shop saw me pick it up, and he was asking me about it, and he was like, so I know they're making it a TV show. if you were to speculate on that, how do you spec this book?
Get them all.
You get them all, or do you do it by individual issue?
I think if you can get them all, you get them all, because I think that's that book is a what do they call those series where they do different stories? I forget, they have a word for that. I'm spacing on that. Where they do all the different types of stories. It's not the same storyline throughout, but I think what you need to spec on for Ice Cream Man is first couple issues and good covers. At that point, that's about all an anthology. Yes, an anthology. Thank you, Never Enough. Those type of books, at least for me, you spec on really good covers and first issue and low print run cover or exclusives. And it's going to be, I mean, that people love that book early on. There's some really good covers out. Those Dr. Seuss variants, the Megan Hutchinson 616 is Bird City book is absolutely beautiful. And it's you know, it's going to be interesting to see how they do that series. It could hit big. I mean, it's a great storyline, and people love those types of dark, you know, humor type, really cool stuff. So I think that's a big book. It's been a big book ever since it came out.
Absolutely right too. You get the low print runs and you get the exclusives, and those are your best solid bet. But for it to be an anthology like that, you have to get every book, because you don't know which one's going to be the popular hit that people go after, because each individual story that ties the whole story together. It's like saying which Twilight Zone is going to be the best one. You don't know, because each one's its own individual, and it's just it takes going out to the public before you know. By the time that you know, it's too late.
Yep. That's why you watch shows like this, guys. Thank you for joining in, everybody. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you hit the bell, you will not miss shows. So you get all this information right off the bat. So make sure you do that. A lot of people in the chat tonight. But yeah, I think that the Dr. Seuss ones are really good. Really good. And Jay, you're right. The Dr. Seuss covers really made that series get a nice little jump. And I don't mind that for a good series. I don't mind that at all. It was so creepy. I remember when that book first came out, it just seemed so creepy to me. And then, like Joe said, you know, that Ha Ha book too. Those two Ha Ha. I mean, I'm a homer, obviously, so I love the Megan Hutchinson one, but that Wanted Comics one is cover of the year candidate for me for Ha Ha. It was absolutely gorgeous. Did you guys see that?
I have not seen that one. I know I've seen the Megan Hutchinson one, and I love that one.
Yeah, I'll show it to you guys. Yeah, the Megan Hutchinson one was beautiful. It's so creepy. But the Ha Ha one, holy shit! Like it is. It's the real deal. All right, let's see here. So shout out to Drew over at Wanted Comics. This is the Virgin variant.
That's sick.
Yeah,
no, I won't buy it.
Like that's probably not probably. That's a cover of the year candidate for me. That and definitely the Something Is Killing the Children to Cobb variant. There's probably a couple other books that I throw in there that I'm thinking about, but yeah, beautiful cover. And of course, you know, the Bird City one was the Ronald McDonald one that did so well, or that looked so well.
Yeah, you put a clown on the cover, and that's a guarantee I will not buy your fucking book. I hate clowns. You know tomorrow, man. God, I hate clowns.
That's a good one, though. I think. That one. Yeah, I love color, man. There's something about when you have color that just pops, especially on the Virgin variants. You know, they're really good. They look really good. This is the Ronald McDonald one. I love the black and white Ronald McDonald one better, though. I think that one's just really, really good. But man, that Wanted Comics one.
Oh,
yeah, really good. We'll see where that goes. Again, listen, covers pull people into indie books that might not necessarily know what it's about. When you're walking by the new comic shelf in a comic store and you see a cover like this or that Ron McDonald, I don't care what the book is. Yeah, you're grabbing it. At least to take a look to see what it's about.
Back. I would buy this, and then I would put it on the reel, and I would hit the button and put it at 50, and I would take
Shoot
my
it.
handgun out and I would shoot the shit out of this thing. I would put more holes in this dumb clown and go home with a smile on my
Or you
face.
just take
You're
it,
a scaredy
spin it
cat.
around in the bag and board, and then slide it back in.
Yeah.
I would not even reel it back in after I shot it. I would leave it downrange. They can have it. Here it is. Keep it. My gift.
Eric Hurd is a artist who does some really good stuff. Shout out to Eric, and he's right. Just beautiful. The primary colors, the way they pop, they're beautiful on that dark background. Especially like I look at that blue, the blue in his hair. Just oh man. Anyways, yeah, color on books will always be a killer for me. I'll just grab them. I want it.
Yeah, they pop out. They're yelling at you when you're looking at it.
That's why people love a lot of those Golden Age books and those foreign variants, because they utilize the way they utilize color. It's just woo. So I don't know. I think that you just grab any book with those Ice Cream Man stuff. It's weird because usually when it comes to smooth option spec and stuff like that, unless it's superhero stuff, it usually doesn't do very well lasting, the how long it stays hot. Usually they come back down. Once they hear that the spec has been optioned, it comes back down. But there's certain books where or certain titles, properties where you're like, if done right, game changer. Absolute game changer. And if they do Ice Cream Man right, game changer. If they do Sandman right, game changer. Like if Sandman is done right, or vice versa with Justice League Dark, like those two, if one of those are done really good, it's going to help the other so much. But I think if Sandman is done poorly, I will feel like I did when the Rangers lost the cup. I will feel so dejected and depressed that I will probably walk away for comics for a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I'll be so mad.
$100 he's gonna get.
It's got to be so good. It's got to be good. I need Sandman to be good. That was the one book that like I remember reading in high school, just going, it doesn't get any better than this. And we've been wanting it for so long, just like we've been wanting, good Star Wars for so long. Sandman fans have been wanting a Sandman series done good forever. And if they do it well, then we know game changer. Then we can start talking about some of the other books that we thought we'd never see, Saga, Bone, Monstrous.
Yeah, Sandman will be one of those ones that's actually going to be hard to transfer over.
I don't know. I think they do it right. I think you can fuck up anything.
I think you can do it. I think you just got to have someone willing to do it. And that's the problem is I think too many people are afraid to, and here's, just like I said earlier, I don't understand why they're afraid to go dark like that after the big success of Joker, and which I thought it was a terrible movie, but nonetheless, a lot of people really liked it. It made a crap ton of money. It was super dark. I don't understand why they're afraid to take a chance at dark. Like Spawn, he's pushing for that movie still. He's going to get it done. We're going to see a dark Spawn. He promises it's going to be dark. I think he's probably going to make a butt ton of money because it's dark. When they pushed Venom as a darker R-rated show, people were like, oh, I don't know if it's going to work. And then they made a butt ton of money. Whether it was good or bad is irrelevant. They made a butt ton of money. Same with Joker. Irrelevancy of whether it was good or bad. They made a lot of money. So I don't know why they're hesitant. If they keep Sandman dark, I think they'll rake it in.
Well, it says here that they've shot enough footage and post-edited, gone through post, that Gaiman has seen quite a bit of it, and he said it's amazing. So, but he's also the creator, so you know what I mean. Who knows? It'll be interesting. They've really shrouded it in secrecy. Like they don't want a lot of stuff to get out, but Netflix is really, really hoping, that it does well. They need something.
Well, and if they keep it on a good channel like Netflix or HBO Max or something like that, where they do a bit of the darker stuff, I think they have a solid shot.
Yeah.
Better audience.
Cool shit, man.
Water it down. Don't water it down.
Yeah, don't CW that bullshit.
Exactly. Well, I think that's a good stop for us to thank everybody for being here. And
Hell yeah.
It was the chat was a ton of fun today. You guys were so
Fire as always.
I love you guys all come strong. You guys come guns blazing with us. You guys help us keep up the name of Modern Comic Mayhem because that's what this fucking place is for 3 hours every Saturday night. So,
Hell yeah. All right, guys.
Check
Until
out
next time.
Yeah. And check out all the other cool shows that you guys already do.
Peace.
Have a good night.